Iconic Productions, it gets worse.
It got worse.
But last week it got really bad. So, I thought we would start today's episode a little bit differently. Adverb. So, my friends, please open your hearts and lend me your senses for but a moment as we remember the fallen. See with me a child of fine features playing in the courtyard of a great fortress. Hear the pure laughter of his mother echo through the hallways of noble stone as she delights in what the child has made. Remember with him the simplicity and sweetness of a child's life when nothing exists outside the laughter and delight of mother. See the child, now a boy, old enough to merit father's attention. See the harsh lines of the father's face and trace the boy's fearful gaze as it carefully follows the heavy, thick warrior hands of his father. Hear the harsh words land on the boy's soul. Family, blood, strength, responsibility. Feel the words take hold. Feel the conflict. Fear against the desperation to fulfill and obey. See a young man now. Feel the strength of his limbs, born of training, born of the father, born of fear and desperate desire. Taste the blood and hear the crack of wood strike bone as the young man's head snaps back and he finds himself looking at the sky. See the father's face swim into view and hear the words he lays upon the boy's soul. Contempt, weakness, unworthy, nothing. Feel the words lacerate. Feel the boy's heartbreak. See the fear carefully hidden in his mother's eyes. Now see again with me the youth and his friends. Feel the unspoken closeness of them, lying exhausted on the beach of the cold and mighty river, their clothes and their catch in piles about them. Hear their idle conversation. Hear them speak as young men speak. Never of fathers, yet somehow always of fathers. What is strength, they ask. Look past the words that they speak. Look past what the young man says. Look to the sight his soul keeps hidden away while his mouth answers blood. Look past and see the aspect of the father in which the boy drowns. Hear the voices raised in anger and fear. Hear mother's words, the ones she always speaks. Too much, too far. Hear the unwinnable battle she fights to extend love to both husband and son. Hear the father's words, both the one he speaks out loud, legacy, and the one that echoes in his own soul, father. Hear them rise higher and higher. See the glint of defiance in her eyes as they meet his, and hear the slap that drives her to the cold stone and echoes through the hallway of the keep. Feel her pain, her loneliness. See now a young leader of men. Hear the jokes. Feel the brotherhood, the respect they give to their captain. Sense the awe they feel for one greater than they. Feel, too, the uncrossable gulf between them, between those who suffer and those who do not. Feel the cold breeze of that autumn evening as the full moon bathes the youth and his men in light. Feel his fierce pride in leading them, every step proof of his worth. Sense the discomfort of the horses as the breeze suddenly carries a new scent. See sudden swift shapes in the alley, stalking, thick hides, impossibly strong. Feel the warm spatter of blood across the young leader's face as the first of his men die, and feel the rage take over. See the guardsmen arrive in the light of morning and feel their horror at the dismembered bodies of their comrades, their captain, chewed and mangled as if by great jaws. Their confusion at the assailants, unarmed, unarmored, beggars clad in rags, arms, mouths, and necks covered in blood. The flesh of the fallen still in their mouths. Feel the guardsman's elation. The captain lives, covered in horrible wounds, weapons still sheathed, the bloody jawbones of his assailants in his hands, ripped from their heads. To the healers, quick, summon his father. Hear the city crier announce the news. Lone survivor, hero, gravely wounded. See the youth recover quickly in body. See the wounds of the soul fester. Hear him scream in the night. Understandable, excusable, his mother says. Weakness, says father, and the boy's soul flees further, deeper into the labyrinthine tunnels of shame. Father's sword cuts deeper than any bite. Awake and feel the horror. Hands and mouth covered in blood. No memory of the night before. Servants all around, throats ripped out, chewed on. Another nightmare, surely, but no. See the horror creep across his face as the awful reality dawns on him. His face in the mirror, unrecognizable, changed. Fine features replaced with the heavy, thick-set features of a brute. Hear the father's voice. Corruption. Pollution. The mother, as she cries, son, to no avail. See the brute, led from the city, cloaked and hidden, cast out, exile. And hear the crier announce the news. Hero, bright sun, died of his wounds. House seeks new heir. Feel the pain of the brute's loss, the loneliness of the journey. See his steps lengthen and steady as purpose surges through his limbs. See his lips form the word, cure. And see past to the word his soul speaks, with anger and anguish he cannot fathom, Father. See a city, vast, wealthy, and resourceful, a nexus. See the brute scour the city. The wizard, he demands, close, so close. But see then the sky turn red as death comes to the city, and know the brute as his hope is crushed. See the brute then fail. See him harried and exhausted. See him cast spite at the invading soldiers, spite at their reliance on each other, spite at their love for their country, spite at everything he has lost. Feel his hope rekindled as he finds others, like himself in ways, broken in ways, willing to brave the chaos and death. See the brute trapped. See him lash out at the cage, see him lash out at his new allies, but feel also new things rising in his soul. In reality, old things newly uncovered, and see tools become friends. See friends respond, see their spite change, see the brute as the brute gruffly soothes their hurts. See the new bonds form, and the young man with a boy's soul peek from his hiding and breathe again. See the young man experience joy as he builds again. See an old woman encourage him. See a son and a mother delighting in the task. See them delight in one another. A beginning, perhaps. See a nightmare. See the flames wreathe about him, silhouetting him in the light of a dying tower. And see his friends, eyes alight in fear. See past these things. See the boy's soul and hear what it hears. Lone survivor. Hero. Watch the wizard's pointed finger rise, crackling with energy, and see the boy's soul speak in response, not again. See the nightmare dissolve, The brute features fall away. The flames dwindle. See nothing. Nothing, just as the father wished. And say with me, whether you have a drink or not, to Oz.
To Oz.
Oz.
All right. So, probably should have done the recap before that, but we'll go ahead and do the recap now.
Curse you.
I'm so sorry. So when we last left our heroes, for those of you who didn't see last episode, if you haven't, go see it. The party had the means to release Talia's former mentor and frequent tormentor. What's the mentor and torment? Never mind. And they decided to take it. They set a trap with consultation with Liliana and Shoji. Vera and Oz built
The coolest trap ever.
The best trap ever.
The Rube Goldbergiest of Rube Goldberg machines. There were falling weights, there were rising daggers, there was oil, there was caltrops, there was fire, there was acid. It was fantastic.
It was brilliant.
And as the master wizard stepped out from the dark tunnels, Talia used her natural 1 divination roll on his perception check to see if he noticed any threat. He noticed no threats, failed every single save involved with the trap, took something like, I think 40 points, 42 points of damage, some 36, 42.
Before he even got a turn.
Before you guys even took your held actions. You guys then poured everything on him that you could.
Except me. I didn't pour
except
anything
for
on him.
Talia, who was afraid.
Okay, we'll have a talk.
And,
We'll have a talk. Okay.
And Oz, not Oz, the wizard's turn came, and Oz, who had on fire, had run over to the prone wizard and slammed his sword down on him twice, shouting, "Nightmare!" over and over again.
So good.
The wizard saw Talia.
Well, I tried to distract him and
Yes.
have him point his finger at me instead.
He saw Talia, decided that Oz was the greatest threat,
Bastard.
and cast Disintegrate on Oz, destroying him completely, along with everything that he carried. And then fled.
Coward.
Several of the party pursued.
Dead.
They I'm trying to turn the noise on my phone off, and it won't. Stop texting, guys.
It's okay. It's just Nick.
Conversation.
Wait.
No phones at the table.
Damn it. I'm not.
You guys pursued him outside, but nobody had the wherewithal to actually take him out. And eventually he used some sort of teleport to get out of your sight. I believe when we left off, you guys were all piled just outside the entrance to this ruined tower. You had all just kind of rounded the corner to see Shoji standing there, bending down, kind of finger in the grass, looking for tracks or something, and standing over her, a zombie and a skeleton, one on each side.
Yeah. Okay, I'm like, no.
I'm pretty sure that there was something else that I wanted to say before we started. I cannot remember what it is. So, I believe, Talia, that I promised you first action.
Yes, and I just have a couple. I have a follow-up question regarding
Yes.
which is with all of my attempts to overcome my fear and actually get out into the street, did I arrive in time to see that it was Shoji who produced those creatures?
Nope.
No. Okay. So then that's even more natural. Great.
I'm not gonna have that conversation.
So, firebolts?
Yeah.
Skeleton or zombie?
Let's go with the which one is a clearer shot?
Either one.
Okay. Go zombie.
Roll that attack.
All right.
Does this zombie look like anyone? Does it look like Oz, or is it just a rando?
Oh
No,
yeah, that's a good point.
It's just a corpse thing.
Okay.
It's an animated corpse that just clawed its way out of the ground. Oz's body is disintegrated. It's gone. There is nothing left.
Okay. So I will do that. There we go. Ooh, that's a 12.
I'm pretty sure that hits. Don't zombies have an armor class of like 8?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm trying to find my encounter list here, and I think I have a hard copy of that.
That zombie AC kind of sucks.
It really does. It's a dex-based AC on a creature with no dexterity.
Yeah.
Zombie,
All right.
8.
All right, so he takes 7 points of fire damage.
Cool. He
May I hit
takes them. I'm sorry?
May I hit the other one too?
That was your action, and
Okay.
now we'll just go ahead real quick and drop out of initiative. So all of you have rounded the corner to see Shoji standing with the skeleton and zombie. Talia, you hit it with a firebolt. Shoji, you feel the heat bloom across your back.
And I will yell out to Shoji while I do it, get away from them!
So, that is what you all see and hear.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'll take a moment and look at the two of them, and just kind of with this
moment. Vera, as she takes a moment, what do you do?
Well, I was right on his heels, so I know that she made these.
No, I think because she went all the way. I think she went all the way around the building before anybody else came.
Yeah. I was running. I think I was the closest one to him.
Yeah, and you were also the one that
Where's the map?
So then I'm just gonna yell. Did he make these? Where is he? Did you see him?
Yeah, Shoji was the only one over there. So yeah.
I'm gonna friggin' Kelkier made these.
That's great.
Because I didn't see him disappear. None of us saw him disappear. So I'm just the show is in front of us. I'm just like, did you see him disappear? Did he make these? And then I'll fire on the one on the skelly.
On the skeleton, go.
And my crossbow is damaged, as I recall.
Yeah.
Yes, so it is dealing 1d4 damage, and you've got a -1 to hit. Oh no, it's just a reduction in damage.
It's just reduction in damage, yep.
So here's the roll. There's a +7 to this. It's a nat 1.
Oh, no!
Another one?
My poor crossbow is
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your poor crossbow is now doing 1 damage. Yeah. Your crossbow now does 1 damage plus your dexterity. Go ahead and roll damage real quick.
Oh, I didn't hit it though, unless it's hitting me. Come
Oh,
on.
no. Go ahead and roll damage.
Is it 1d4 again?
It's 1d4 plus your dex.
Okay. It's 6.
Okay. Shoji, as you take a moment and kind of stand up, a crossbow bolt grazes your trap. what's the full name of this muscle? Your trapezoid?
Trapezoid. Yep.
Words. And pins in the dirt about 30 feet in front of you. Now what do you do?
Okay. All right. Well, first thing, despite my years of practice at deception, I'm gonna just have this huge grin on my face, but facing towards the creatures and like back up from them. And then
So you're hiding the smile from the group.
yeah, but I've got a huge grin on my face.
They're beautiful. They're amazing. You slowly back away from them. Now, real quick, I believe that they will move to defend themselves.
I think so.
Animate. So, go ahead and find that.
I really want to insight check his show.
I would, but one, my insight isn't great, and two, I'm really upset. So yeah.
If you issue no commands, the creature only defends itself against hostile creatures. The skeleton and the zombie run clacking over to you guys. I guess Liliana will get a shot before it actually gets close. She'll cast.
It's okay. I have a plan.
We'll just chuck a chill touch at it. 3 plus zombie plus 7. Okay.
I feel like Mary rolls better than that. So you got to work on that, Josh.
So that's 4. So a total of 12 damage has been done to the. No, you did 9, right?
Who are you pointing at?
Sorry, to Leo.
Yes, I did 7.
Oh, total of 7. Right. So total of 11 damage has been done to the zombie as they hurtle forward. The zombie is going to attack Talia because she's in front. It rolls a natural 1 and hits the skeleton.
Excellent.
Skeleton takes 1d6 damage. So, I mean, Shoji, they're beautiful, not terribly coordinated. You'll have to tweak the sinews next time. And the skeleton's gonna roll at Vera. Ooh, for a 17 plus some things. So that's gonna hit. Which means that the skeleton, where did it go?
I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, 21 to hit.
I don't blame you.
You take 7 points of damage.
My hit.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, Vera.
Okay. Can I?
Yeah, Talia,
Are we in initiative?
Like, are we just doing whatever, whenever?
I'm just doing team.
Okay. So if I can go real quick, if this skeleton is, or one of them is right up in my business, yes?
Yeah, the zombie came up and went, and you just ducked and they all slammed into the skeleton.
Awesome. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to look at him. And in all of the anguish and anger and fear that I have within my heart right now, I am going to scream out Silhaloon's name, and I would like him to fail his con save with an 8, please.
What do you?
Because I still have an 8 left.
What do you-
Word of Radiance, the one that never works.
What is it?
Word of Radiance, if he's within 5 feet of me.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's cool. It's really cool.
Real cool.
So it's a con save, which I'll give him my 8, which is my last divination roll. And that's 2d6 of radiant.
2? Ooh.
Yep. So that's 9 points of radiant damage to
Awesome.
him.
You shout Silhaloon, and every part of you glows with this pale blue golden, shot through with gold lights, explodes out from you and splashes across the skeleton's bones, many of which crack and chip, and it looks really bad.
Excellent.
I just realized that I have forgotten that I'm a halfling. So I'm not going to ask you to take back one of those nat ones, but can I get back one thing on my crossbow?
Ooh, no, just re-roll the damage.
Oh,
We'll just. I'm sorry. We'll just re-roll the attack. There we go.
okay.
So Shoji, you do not have any damage on you. She rolls another one.
Oh, it's like a 16 plus 7.
Cool. And you shot at the skeleton?
I did.
Okay. In that case, Talia, when you do this, it just explodes into dust and ribs that just go flying all over the place.
Well, that was previous.
I
Sorry.
can live with that.
So your crossbow does 1d4 plus your dex, and you're all set.
Okay, so we still have a zombie up in Talia's business, though, right?
I thought it was
Yeah.
the zombie that attacked me, because that's the one that I would have been close to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you hit the zombie. Never mind. Skeleton.
And I'd done 7 points of damage to him before, and I just did 9. So he's like bye-bye, right?
No.
Tough zombie.
Zombie's still up.
I will signature move the skeleton who just hit me.
Cool. I'm not gonna bother making you roll. You chop out the knee, run up the back, and just punch straight through the back of the skull, and it comes out the front. Bones. Liliana's gonna chuck another thing at the this guy.
I'd actually like to join.
Oh, I'm
with
sorry.
the-
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shoji. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maintain
Still with
cover.
this, still with this huge grin on my face, I'm just gonna cast Chill Touch at it and just kind of laugh internally, like you can't do anything. I want to ask you, like, how does the whole like command thing work? Is it verbal or can I?
I believe it is mental.
Oh, that's fun.
So everything you need to know is in the spell animate dead, because that's what the ability is based on.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't require an action or a bonus action or anything like that. I believe. You issue a general command. No, bonus action to mentally command any creature you made with this spell. As long as they
then all right. I would have commanded them to intentionally fail in their attacks.
Okay. So that's a bonus action. Did you want to take any action to actively destroy them, or just that?
Yeah, I would like to actively destroy them. Like, my beautiful creatures, I can kill you and bring you back so many times.
You're the world's worst mom.
Yeah.
And just roll the damage for Chill Touch.
Okay. Action. Chill Touch. From thing. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up. I keep pressing the wrong things. There we go.
I think
Damage.
it's just a D8, so if you just want to roll a D8, that's fine.
Oh,
Roll
yeah.
And I still cannot believe that these things are not immune or resistant to necrotic damage. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
The pale hand appears and just passes through the zombie's form, and it kind of it's got its arm raised to hit Talia again, and it kind of stops and turns and looks at you, Shoji, and then passes through it, and it just collapses.
I burst out laughing, just pure joy. Just yes.
If I wasn't dying of grief right now, I would be so suspicious.
Yeah,
React to grief in different ways.
exactly. It's a perfect time to just be myself.
Oh dear God. I have to find a new party.
You're doing
Sure. We're all standing out in the courtyard of this ruined tower, and again, like everything that's here is broken and dilapidated. Half the tower is just a pile of bricks, etc. And hold on, I need to remember what you guys released him 2 days after you got out, so it is day. Got it. Okay, yeah. So it's pretty fairly early morning. The sun is above the horizon. The light is shining through the trees with their new leaves on them. The hedge that kind of surrounds this whole estate is right there's kind of that dark green center, but then that like the buds have bloomed into that bright spring green all around you. It's a beautiful morning. Birds are chirping.
I'm
So
going to
I
be
would like.
violently sick.
Okay?
I hold my hair back.
You don't have to. I've got like this much hair.
Yeah,
I forgot.
you got. There's no hair to hold back.
This is a
Shoji, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'd like to report to the party. Like, so I was chasing the wizard, and it looks like he escaped by magical means. And these creatures, I don't know if he's capable of something like this, but they appeared.
insight check.
That's not his specialty.
I didn't say anything that was a lie.
That they think
I'm
Vera,
totally
give me-
isolating this.
Vera, give me an insight check. Shoji, give me a deception of omission check.
Mm.
I could roll like crap. You never know. Kind of did.
Sorry, it's contested. She could roll an actual 20. Because Shoji is not sure where these came from. He disappeared, and then these were there.
This man is a dead man.
What?
Just creation here. Someday he's a dead man.
Miss Vera, I'll tell you who's a dead man. No, Vera. I said no, and I'm not putting up with it again. I say no.
You said it was springtime. Are there flowers?
Roll a perception check.
Lots.
Yeah, there are dandelion weeds in the yard. There are a few daisies sprouting up here and there.
There's something that needs to happen right now. And I go and I pick a bunch of the flowers and I go back in to the tower.
I'll see her doing this, and I'll help her. I'll help her do that. I'll be gathering the flowers too.
Okay. Talia, Vera doesn't respond beyond, there's something else that needs doing. They start kind of gathering some flowers and they head on back into the
Okay.
to the tower.
I'm going to go to Liliana and hold out my hand and ask for the orb, and then I'm going to follow them inside.
Liliana hands you the orb.
Thank you.
There's just a behavior chart for her because Mary's not here. Yeah. It ranges from does as asked to does as asked with extreme snark. So she hands you the orb.
Thank you. All right. And I will go in with them, with Vera and Show.
Okay. So inside, it's only been a few minutes. So there's oh God. Let me
It's
take a look.
on fire, isn't it?
Yeah, let me take a look at this room real quick.
I'm feeling
Boy.
this still.
Okay. So the ground and floor are stone, so it wouldn't have spread at all. So two of the bookshelves, right? So you open the door and like right in front of you is the pile of stuff that fell with the trap, and then a bookshelf that's toppled down on top of it, and all of that is just burnt to char. There's another bookshelf off to the right, burnt to char. One of the crappy, nasty, not nasty, but
Ugly.
garishly colored chairs is totally burnt and kind of melted a little bit. The oil still burns. There's little patches of that flame that's almost invisible. There's ashes just scattered all across one part of the room. And the room is filled with smoke. It is billowing out of the door. It appears to be lessening, though.
Can I find, I imagine there's lots of ashes in here, but can I find essentially what would be his ashes?
Give me an investigation check and a constitution save.
And a what?
Con save.
Oh.
I was also going to look for his dust. Can I help Vera?
Vera with advantage?
Okay, my first one was 11. And it was worse.
Probably go with the first one.
Okay.
And I need con saves from both of you.
16 on the con.
16. Okay, cool.
Let me get mine.
Liliana kind of walks in the door after you and goes, nope.
19 for me.
Getting out here. Okay, you two are choking on ashes, but it doesn't, on smoke, but it doesn't affect you too much. Vera, what are you doing with the ashes? So yeah, you find the main concentration. I'm sorry, Nick. I know you're here.
So, I'm gathering them together just with my hands.
Okay.
And in something. And I just look at Tilly and I like pull her hands to help me.
Yeah, I'm there.
As you guys kind of scrape his ashes together, Vera, your hand hits something hard and you can hear metal scratch against metal. And you kind of pull an object out of the dust and brush it off. Everything he was carrying was destroyed with him, except it looks like kind of that hilt with the broken blade on it. Used to be some kind of large sword, but now it's been broken down and he was using it more or less like a dagger. And kind of the handle is all wrapped with cloth, most of which has been blasted away, enough for you to see that on the hilt, crap, is this under design? Yes, it is. On the hilt is this kind of dark orange symbol with a red lion's head that is breaking a sword in its jaws.
Do we recognize it?
Too bright. It looks
You kind of see it.
like that.
Oh,
Pretty.
cool.
Yeah. Do any of you recognize that?
Yeah.
Are you proficient in history?
The nerd is.
Talia, you may roll a history check.
All right. $12.
You're really not sure. It's clearly heraldry of some house or organization, but you can't identify what house or where in the world it's from.
We should hold on to that.
Do you mind if I take this with us?
No,
Do you mind if
think
I carry it for him?
I think he'd want you to have it.
Tuck it away in my stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a handful of the dust that is there from his remains and put it carefully into my box that I've been keeping my spell components in
Okay.
for later.
Okay. I'll add for you Oz's ashes.
Oh man, that's like a trend for Ginny because
It
Laura
really
just
is.
carried a little pouch of Torga's ashes with her.
Yeah.
I know.
Thing.
Okay.
Okay. Shoji, what are you doing while they do all this?
Well, I'll see that there's still lots of smoke and stuff, so I'll just wait outside and just
You
remember
and
what I
Liliana kind of
made.
stand out. I'm sorry. You and Liliana stand outside the door. She's kind of silent. You are also quiet, but largely because inside you're jumping and skipping with joy.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys finish collecting the ashes. You have the broken hilt dagger.
Vera, there's one more thing that I have to do before I leave because I don't know if this works outside of this space.
Well, he'd want to be under the sky, I think, but do what you need to do here.
Tell the girls they're not to harm them. I'm holding up the orb.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand.
And I will focus on the two slaves and I will let them out.
Okay. Fuck. I forgot about this.
You should have known I was going to do this, Josh.
I forgot about them.
We were under a lot of pressure.
I know.
Okay. So Talia, you're inside.
Yes.
Everybody else is outside when you do this.
Yeah, I just sent Vera to tell Liliana and Shoji not to murder these poor boys when they apparate.
I have the bag of ashes that we have, and I'll go out and tell them she's letting out the servants. Let them go. Right.
Okay. You shut the door behind you. Otherwise, it can't really function. And Talia, as you stand in the room, there is, I'll say the whole room is currently in dim light. And because you have low light vision, it's as bright light to you. So, okay, we'll go with that. Okay, the door is thrown open, and you see the two guys from the tunnel kind of run out and just start looking around and squinting, looking at kind of the burned, charred remains. Each of them has a sword in their hand. Okay, where are these guys? Oh, I dropped the ball on this one. Okay. Where are they?
It's all part of the job description.
Yep. Okay.
And if they're going, like, I
Okay.
would talk to them first.
Okay. They burst into the room and look around for a good 5 or 10 seconds. So you've got about that long to do something, unless you want to wait for them.
Gentlemen,
They both immediately turn towards your voice and kind of peer into the dim light, and start fanning out and moving towards your voice.
okay, I light up something with candle, something close at hand-ish.
Okay.
I understand what you have been through to a certain degree, and I would like to help you.
I don't think that's what I want it to be. Let's go with, we'll go with this. All right, are these guys appearing on the map?
I don't have the map up,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry. Let me re-share that. Sharing, share sheet.
Yes, I see them.
Okay. This token. There we go. Okay. Okay. So they're both standing there. Where is the master?
I don't know where he went. He left.
Is he alive?
He was
And the
alive
other one,
last I-
you see the other one say, he's alive. I can still hear the voices. So the first one kind of turns from him back to you. Where is he?
I have no idea. He left.
What did you do to him?
I did nothing to him.
He kind of looks around at this destroyed room, looks at the trap that's been set off and then burned, looks at kind of the blood that's spattered at various places on the ground.
My friends did this to him. And if you do not wish them to do the same to you, I suggest you cooperate.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, go away, map. Sorry, we get to my character sheet. There we go. Persuasion with disadvantage. Where's that? Down there. Okay. Please. Okay, 16.
16. He walks towards you with the sword and says, all right, well, I'll make you tell me. And now I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh God. This guy in his stupid mind control needs to die. Okay, initiative.
Oh, I have disadvantage because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it is an ability check, I believe.
Yep. So that's a 5.
Can I go ahead and remove
We are
you?
tied.
Okay, remove you. Ba-ba-ba.
No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, shoot. Shoot, I minimized the map. How do I get it back? Where did it go? Usually I just drag it. There we go. I got it.
I'm trying to look for a good. We're just going to put them in here. As God, about these guys.
Sorry, Josh. I meant it to be a social encounter, not a whatever.
Nope, my fault.
I'm not apologizing to you anymore.
There you go. You're learning. There we go. Got a couple of these guys in there. That'll work for initiative tracking. That one is going to roll. Come on. This one's going to roll a nat 20. Well, he's going to go last.
Good.
All right, everybody roll. I'll go ahead and roll for Liliana. Just a D20 plus 6 plus 2. Okay. So she'll go on 8. And Oz is not here. So Vera, unfortunately, you, Shoji, and Liliana go first.
I'm still under the influence of red, so I can get there pretty fast.
Right. You are outside the door.
Never mind. Not my turn. I was gonna say I would like to shout out to the group. Like I already told Vera not to let the girls kill anybody.
Right.
Do I hear any of this exchange through the door?
What is your passive perception?
A lot.
Is
He's
it
like
above?
Laura V.
Is it above a 15?
Yes.
You
nine-
hear some
It's 19.
19? Holy good goddamn.
Expertise, man.
Radar.
Yeah, with a passive of 19, you hear the important parts of the dialogue, and yeah, give me an insight check on what you hear.
Oh, come on here. Okay, fine. Lots.
Yes, you know that things inside have just turned threatening.
Okay, I am going to, I don't know if this is a free action just to yell like, non-lethal, girls. And I, under the
I said, Vera.
non-lethal. And I'll go running in with lots and lots of speed because I'm on drugs.
All right.
Oh, Sylvan, I need so much help to save this
So
party.
you get in the door. Do you have low light vision? I don't think you do.
I'm wearing my goggles.
Oh my god. You
Yeah,
see everything. You see everything so clear and so bright. Yeah, the two guys have basically advanced right up to her and are raising their swords to attack. What do you want to do?
Can I do something a little bit weird? I don't know if it work this way.
Last time you said that, we spent the next hour designing a fantastic trap. So, absolutely.
It's true.
That was peak D&D. Just was. It was like
with my itty bitty speed is basically, can I run up behind and basically just take his knees out and knock him prone so I can talk to him?
Left or right?
Let's go left.
Yeah. Want to try and knock him prone. So there is a shove action in 5th edition that I always forget about.
This isn't really shove, because that'd be strength based. I'm trying to make this more dexy, like going for his aim and like go sit.
I'm just gonna base whatever my ruling is here on what the shove is.
Okay.
That'll be our template. Where is that on here? Melee attacks. Reach, unarmed strike, opportunity, grappling. Is this where shove is? Where's shove?
it's in the special actions you can take in combat.
Oh, okay. So that's probably further.
It should be by grapple. Blech. Words.
Do you have it up right now?
No.
No.
You can bring
It
it up.
actually, it might
Having a
not be in
creature.
the player's handbook.
So using the action, special
Okay.
melee, shove, either to knock it prone or push. Good. If you're able to, target must be no more than one size larger. So he is one size larger. And no, doesn't matter. Instead of making an attack roll, make a strength athletics contested by the target's athletics or acrobatics.
Can I make this a monkey-de-monk more like an acrobatic thing than an athletic thing?
Because this includes shoving to either push or knock prone, I'm gonna keep it with athletics.
Okay, then I can't do that because I wasn't going to shove him. I was essentially going to pull his ankles.
Right, which You know what?
Do the
Give me an
backward shove.
insight. Give me an insight. I'll give you an insight. Yeah, I'll give you an insight check to see if you can figure out where his balance is. And if
Okay.
you succeed, I'll let you do it with acrobatics.
Yeah.
Not quite. So yeah, it'll have to be a strength.
Okay. Can I do? Okay. Can I essentially just get their attention and speak to them as I'm doing this or as I'm running up to them?
What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna essentially come up and stand behind them and say, "Hey," and get their attention and get them to make eye contact with me. Or get one to make eye contact with me, and then say something to them.
Okay. You didn't exactly stealth coming into the room. I'm sorry?
Stealth, quite deliberately. I want them to hear me and see me.
So as you kind of came and started to get behind him, he kind of turned, so he's got you and Talia at a triangle. He looks down at you, and what do you say?
I say, "I'm a monk of the Shattered Mount. The voices in your head are not your own. Your mind is your own. It's yours. Listen."
Okay. You say that. Yeah. No, that's the wrong list. There we go. And Shoji Yora.
Okay. I would like to.
The door's open so you can see and hear all of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run into the room as well, and I'll kind of position myself behind Vera, like not in direct, like not on the front lines between them. Like I'll stand behind Vera. Sorry.
Back there, okay?
Yes. And can I hold my action, hearing what Vera just said, and if they attack, can I cast Chill Touch?
Yep.
On
so
whoever
you
attacks?
Touch on whichever one of them attacks?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Liliana will come in here and spread out a little bit. No, she's not. She's going to stay right in the doorway. And she will also hold Chill Touch. Okay. So the Bandit 1 is the guy who's looking at you, Talia.
Uh-huh.
He looks at the one that Vera was just talking to and says, "These must be the friends." And he's going to take one attack against you, Talia.
Okay.
Where did that go? There it is. Yeah, because they're good. So one attack against you.
Shield. If I need it.
So you use the spell slot, but he rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. So you take you take 16 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and add that in. You take 16 points. I got it. Okay. 16 points of slashing damage as the blade just slams into your shield, which takes most of the force, but it still cuts through and slams into your shoulder.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
I said okay.
Okay. He's going to use his action surge to do that again.
Shield is still up.
Shield is still up.
That means my AC is 17.
All right, he rolled a 22.
Okay.
So you take another 7 points of damage.
Okay.
So he slams you twice. And it is your turn now.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shoji and Liliana, both of your held actions go off. So go ahead and roll chilled touch.
Is it only against the guy who attacked, though, right?
Both
Yeah.
are against this guy.
Mhm.
Attack. She misses. 15 hits. Actually, that's more than 15. I still don't know why it's not calculating your attack bonus correctly. You should have like a +6 or a +7, something like that. So yeah, go ahead and roll damage for that. Five damage. Okay. So the spectral hand closes on his shoulder, and you see he goes "Ah!" and turns back to Leah. Talia, now it's your turn.
Okay. All right. So first of all, do I recognize either of these gentlemen from the last day that I saw people at Kelfier's?
Yes, these were definitely two of the guys who followed him out of his workshop,
Okay.
essentially.
But neither of them is my guy.
Correct.
Okay. And I know what he's capable of. And would you allow me to do an insight check and something else?
What are you looking for with the insight check?
I am looking to see if they are as I suspect they are, or if they are acting under their own power.
That's going to require kind of searching their face, looking at their eyes. That's going to require more like an action type insight check.
Okay. All right. Well, I know I'm still shit. Okay. So I know what Kelfier is capable of. I have seen it used on me. I've seen it used on other people. And I'm going to just, because that's what she would do. She just assumes that that's what's going on here.
Okay.
So with that, I probably will roll like shit. But I am going to stop, hold my hand out, and say, I know what the master is capable of, and I will intercede on your behalf. And right there in front of him, I'm not moving out of his range. I'm going to go to my knees, and I am going to pray to the mother of the broken, the keeper of the lost, to restore these poor souls to their own wits. Not for me, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't care about me at this point, but for them.
So for Jenny's edification, or yeah, the effect you're asking for,
I know,
is essentially akin to a 5th level spell. Like it's essentially like if they are being affected by what you think they are, then you're asking for it. It's essentially what amounts to a greater restoration.
Yeah, I know that.
So this is going to be really, really unlikely.
So can you tell Grace that it will succeed if she rolls a natural 20, and then can Grace roll?
No, I'm gonna have you roll a D100.
Okay.
My question-
Can I ask for a either a hatred of mind control or a devotion to the weak roll first?
Yeah, you could roll that first, and that will gain you inspiration. Inspiration is not something that you can put on this roll, but you will have it kind of for the scene. So yeah,
Okay.
give me what is it? Love for the broken, love for the lost,
Um,
love of the underdog,
yeah,
something like that.
something devotion to the weak, I think is what we
Yeah,
called it.
something like that. Yeah, go ahead and roll that. 60 or
Okay.
below, and you got it.
Whoops, sorry. Hang on. I did my dice wrong.
Said helping them also fight, which would help her.
I'm sorry.
Is what I said maybe helping them fight, which would help her. Helping them fight it off, the influence themselves.
I see. That does not affect this roll.
Okay,
Um,
so that was a 12, Josh.
Wait, did you figure out how to roll?
Yeah, you just right click and then you hit percentile. It's easy.
What?
I know.
What?
Technology, man.
Right click on what? Oh! No, what? Right.
On the die, you right click on your D10 and it shows up the percent sign. And then you can roll your
Oh my
percentage
gosh,
dice.
that's great. I love it. Okay, cool. Cool. I rolled a 2. So, you have inspiration.
Okay. Which is a D8 at this point, yes? Because we're 5? I think so.
I don't know. Something like that. D8, D6, D8. If somebody could look that up, whatever the bard's roll is at 5th level. So, and then go ahead and make this percentile roll as you beg the goddess's intercession.
Are we using the divine intervention rule for this? Is that what we're doing?
No, because that gives you at least a 10% chance, and this is lower.
No, because you have to roll below your level. So I would have to roll.
But clerics don't get divine intervention until level 10.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
The D8.
So yeah, basically you're hoping for like a 5 or below. Yeah.
It's a D8 for a bardic.
Right.
For inspiration.
Well, that's a 57.
Okay. You
Alright.
go down to your knees in front of this sword-wielding devotee of Kelfir, and you pray, and there's nothing.
She just doesn't talk to me. God
You
damn it.
feel and hear nothing. You can remain on your knees, but I'm letting you know that unless you attempt to defend yourself in some way, like his sword is just going to automatically hit.
Yeah.
So do you want to get up and attempt to defend yourself, or are you staying on your knees?
I will get up because that's what Oz would have me do.
Okay. You cast your hope before the feet of Silhaloon and get nothing. And once again, Oz's voice echoes in the back of your mind, and you stand to your feet and try not to die.
Yep. Nobody cares about your sob story, and he saw the lady in the moon in a blue lagoon.
Yep. And the other one turns to Vera and is going to make his attack for a 19 to hit.
Yep. So I don't get to equation?
Nope.
Fine.
You take 11 points of slashing damage. So you've taken, you're down 18. And he's going to use his action surge and hit you again for another 19. And you take 9 more points of damage. Okay. Top of the round, Vera. He slams his sword down into you twice, and you parry it with the short sword. You dodge out of the way of the other, but this guy is fast. And most after kind of the emotional exhaustion of the day and avoiding these attacks, you are almost at the limits of your strength.
May I bonus action take the health potion I have?
Yep.
But it's not in Fantasy Grounds. I don't think we ever officially moved them around. I know I have one.
Yeah, you have a superior. I remember that.
Oh
'Cause he
yeah,
said
I don't.
it you up to full.
Yeah,
don't
I
think
forgot
he
to put that in
censored it
there.
from Jeep.
I have on a page somewhere nearby where all of those things went, but I can't seem to find it. So yeah, we'll call it a superior.
Okay, what do I roll?
48, no, 44 plus 4. Sorry. Not quite. Ooh, is this it? No.
Okay, I rolled 9 plus 4, so 13.
9 plus 4, so 13. Okay, you regain 13 hit points. We'll go ahead and take that off. So 13, 14. Okay, cool. All right, so that's your bonus action.
As my bonus action, I will then sidestep so that I'm flanking this dude with one of my friends who is close by. This maneuver, so I'm
Flanking where?
I'm sorry, I can't see the map very well. But all my friends are in very close proximity here.
You can flank with Talia.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah. Talia's not really threatening him, but because she's not on her knees submitting, that's still kind of a distraction behind him. So yeah, you're already flanking.
And I will hamstring him with my dagger.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
I mean, an attack with advantage.
Yep, and sneak attack if you do hit.
You have to hit him first.
Yep. It's that plus a 7.
Yeah, 16 hits.
Okay, that's a 2d4 plus, wait, okay, there's a bunch of stuff that's gonna happen. I'm gonna do the plain dagger first, and then I'll add the sneak attack. So this is the plain dagger.
Wait, are you attacking with a plain dagger or your sawtooth?
Sawtooth. I mean, this is the attack, this is the damage from the dagger, then I'll give you the sneak attack.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's this plus 4.
So 11.
And then I'll add sneak attack.
2d6.
6 more.
11, so 17 points of damage?
Yep.
And this is that one. Okay.
So I'm trying to cut the muscles behind his knees.
You get the dagger real good in there and just kind of rip through. And he screams and grabs his thigh. He is still in the fight, but that sucked. Choji.
Okay, I would like to come up on the one that those two are flanking and cast inflict damage or inflict wounds. Yes, at second level.
All right, give me, oh God, give me the attacks. That's going to be what, 4d10 for a first level? So.
Wait, he's looking pretty rough.
No,
Yeah, he's below half.
It's lost on me. I'm in the heat of battle. I can't think clearly. I'm sorry. I see somebody hurting my friends. Things are gonna happen.
Give me that attack roll.
Does he look kind of rough?
Yes.
Do I need? Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna cast it at level 1 then instead of level.
Okay. Level 1 inflict wounds.
Oh, Rookcat is right. Superior is 8d4 plus 8. A greater healing potion is 4d4 plus 4.
Crap basket. So Vera, go ahead and roll 4d4 again. Unfortunately, Shoji, that will not hit. So
okay, even with like the extra stuff that's not included in it.
Because because your bonus should be, what do you have? I guess 7. So yeah, 4 plus so 7. But yeah, an 11 will not hit.
Okay, as a bonus action, can I just try to spit in his face and kind of get his attention on me?
Vera, you are fully healed.
Actually,
Thanks for that, Rook.
What is it?
I'm 1 down.
No, because it's 13 plus another 4.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
17.
thank you.
Okay, so Shoji, you run up, cast the spell, and he gets his shield just between you and it, and the magic kind of blasts harmlessly off the shield. Liliana
Wait,
is going to
and then spit,
What?
and then spit in the face to try to get his attention on me.
Sure. Give me an attack roll, just a d20 plus dex.
Okay.
If you roll a natural 20, so help me God.
Remember, you did this last time, Josh. Last time she spit in somebody's face.
Yeah,
rolled a
that's right.
You spit in his face, and now there's just saliva running down his face.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring his attention.
If you can survive 2 to 3 weeks, he might contract something. But
That's great.
I don't know if that was in poor taste at the moment. It probably was.
Yeah, maybe just a touch, Josh.
That was a little.
That should be the show.
Liliana is going to cast a real spell this time because she's sick of this shit. Scorching Ray. She really wants to use Fireball.
I know. She really
She's
wants
not-
to use burning hands too and burn all of us up at once.
She's not going to hit her.
We're all
friends.
clumped so nicely.
So we'll go ahead and roll first attack with Scorching Ray. Natural 20.
You can't
Oh,
do
no.
non-lethal with fire damage. Oh,
That
God.
one. Oh, God. Okay, cool.
Oh, sweet mother.
Cool. That does 12 plus 2d6. So 12 is 18 plus. It doesn't add anything, right? It's just 2d6 for Scorching Ray? Yeah, 2d6. Cool. Well, that one's down. There's no way for me to indicate that. But the one on the left, definitely down as a bolt of fire clocks him in the head. The other 2 are going at the other guy. First one, 16 will hit, and 15 will not hit, just misses. So that one takes 2d6 of fire, 5 points of fire damage. So he's totally down. He's okay. Fire splashes across his chest. His kind of leather jerkin is now smoldering and burning. And it's his turn. Cool. He holds a hand out towards Werner. I'm sorry, towards the other guy and says, Werner! And he's going to take a swing at you, Talia.
At me, who have done nothing except stand here?
I mean, it's a good point, but also, yeah, you haven't done anything. You're harmless.
He's just the cleric.
He'll run over to Werner. I mean, he didn't see what took him down, so he's just going to run over to the 2 guys who are standing over him. And yeah, he'll make his attack against Shoji. 21 to hit. Shoji, you take, not 2d8. You take 8 points of damage. Okay. And that's his turn. So he runs over and stands over his fallen comrade and takes a swing at you, Shoji. And yells, and slams you with his sword.
Well, I'm sorry, I missed what he yelled.
For father. Talia, it's your turn.
Interesting. Okay. Two things.
Yep.
Bonus action, Shield of Faith on Shoji.
Okay, Shoji, you have +2 to your armor class, and Talia, you are concentrating.
Yep. And I will say I'm going to try again to talk to him, try for some sort of persuasion.
Okay.
Interesting about the father part. That's interesting. Okay. I want to find him too. We could work together.
Okay.
And you see that my friends are very powerful.
That's about what you have time for in 6 seconds.
Yep.
Okay. Top of the round, Vera, what are you doing?
Do I get a persuasion check on that or no?
No.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
How much of, besides there's a cattail, how much of my, action, bonus action, etc., would it take to both do an attack and stabilize his buddy?
An attack is an action, and trying to stabilize is an action.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Josh, can we back up? Because I thought that was going to take my action. And if there's no die roll involved, it shouldn't take my action, correct?
But you spent your turn speaking.
I assumed I was going to get to roll.
Right. In this case, no, you get the sense you're a little too far into combat for that.
Okay. Well, I would have done something different with my turn had I realized that you weren't going to let me roll. So.
Right. But I mean, if you had asked me, will I get a roll if I try, I wouldn't have told you either.
Okay. That's fine.
Right. When you're in the middle of combat and you're trying to end it, like sometimes you're it's a shot in the dark.
Okay.
So Vera, yeah, it would require an action, and then, oh, actually, on his turn, he has to roll a death save. Okay. So yeah, it would require 2 actions to do that.
Okay. Can I flank the new guy, the still up guy with Soji?
Yeah.
Okay. I will do that, and I will signature move him again, non-lethal hamstring him.
I'm
And
going
punch.
to non-lethally cripple you for life.
Yes. And leadership with the bonus.
Yeah. Give me your first attack roll. First attack is with the dagger.
Yes.
Okay. First attack with advantage.
Advantage. Lots.
Yeah.
Can I just roll for the second?
Sure.
Non-advantage. This is for the punch. That's also +7.
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
So give me 2d4 plus 2d6 plus 4.
Yep. 2d4. 2d6 plus 4.
13.
13. Okay, and then roll the unarmed attack damage. It doesn't matter. This one can't not take him out. So you also jam it into his thigh, the dagger into his thigh, and kind of rip outwards, and he arches over, and you jump up and just clock him in the back of the head, and he goes limp on the floor. Just in case it is possible. Shoji, like to use your action to attempt to stabilize one of them. Actually, Vera, the one that you knocked out is not making death saves. He's just out. The other one got taken out by fire. So Shoji, would you like to use your action to try and stabilize that one? Or do you not care?
I don't care. I could do the appearance of trying to help him, but letting him.
Insight
You
check.
want to try and stabilize him and intentionally.
Yeah, I want to.
I think I had you roll performance on this last time. I recently reread the descriptions for all of the skills, and it does say that performance is specifically to try and entertain.
Ooh, so deception?
Rules as written, it's going to be deception or sleight of hand. In this case, yeah, it'll be deception.
I think
performance.
I'm proficient in deception and sleight of hand, so.
Of course you are. You're best.
Give me a deception roll.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh no! Yeah. So he's gonna roll a death save here. Oh my god! Talia, it's your turn as you watch Shoji. Actually, I'm gonna roll for Liliana and see if she would try and help. Nope. Talia, it's your turn. You watch Shoji run over, pull out like some bandages and things, and like start tending to the wound, and you watch her just deliberately take her thumb, just jam it down into one of his wounds, and giggle it a little bit. And you see she tries to hide it with her body, but you see that clearly. Vera, you also see that because she rolled a natural 1.
I will run over and shove Shoji out of the way, and I will grab his whatever. I will touch him and cast Spare the Dying.
Okay, he is stick.
Yeah.
I
I will turn to Shoji and say,
at the back of the head.
What?
I'll just point at my wounds and hers, say, I'm sorry, I had a grudge. It was heat of the moment. I wanted to help, but then it got to it. I really didn't.
Miss Show, I need you to understand something right now, and we will talk about this later, but right now I need you to understand something. These two are cursed. All right? They did
Aren't
not
we
choose
all?
to do this. So help me.
Okay, I just back away. Okay.
Vera, what does yours look like?
Down, but fine.
Talia, Liliana walks up to you, head down a little bit, not making eye contact with you, like looking a little sheepish, and she's just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like really hurt him. It's fire, it's hard to control. He was hurting. I'm sorry.
That I understand, Liliana. I'm sorry, all of you. I'm not myself at the moment. I know that you all had your best intentions, even you, Miss Show, but well.
I suggest that we immobilize these young men and get on with the task at hand. I still have the ashes with me.
Yep.
We need to go back to the camp.
We need a moment right now to do what needs to be done. Do you think he would want to be in that camp? He would want to be here where his answers were.
I agree with that.
Not here. Not here. Not in this room.
Not in this room, under the sky.
Well, should we tie these two up in the meantime? Have a brief ceremony for our fallen friend. Then take these two back with us, where hopefully they can get healed.
Yeah, I'll donate some rope to that.
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay.
There
Yeah,
probably
you
is
guys-
rope in the laboratory too, or where he kept his creatures in the cage, right?
You guys used, hold on. You guys used an awful lot of rope. Does anybody
With the,
have it? I
I don't think I was.
don't think any of you carried rope here. So give me an investigation check to see if you can find some.
I can do that.
Okay, go for it. And you have advantage. Liliana at least will help if somebody else does as well.
Well, I'll put advantage on that. Not great.
11. You can find enough to tie them up. You can salvage enough from the remnants of the trap that did not catch fire.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys can restrain them. It's not great, but you can restrain them.
And then with spare the dying, so they're just stabilized. Do you want me to roll a d4 for that, or did you already do that
Why a D4?
for the when they come to?
Oh, ooh, I'm sorry. Yes, I will roll that. It's like what spare the dying, there's no D2, there's no D4 roll. Okay. So yeah, I've rolled for that.
Okay. So what's your plan, Vera?
Am I right, DM, that there's essentially a yard here?
Yes, very very large. Yeah, you're on a medium estate.
Right. Can I find a pretty spot here?
Yeah, absolutely. There are lots of pretty spots. It's spring in a temperate zone.
There are lots of pretty spots in this destroyed city, he says.
It's gorgeous. Sun is shining through the leaves. There are insects all about. You can hear the birds. It's a stark contrast with literally everything else.
He was proud of what he did in this city against the ghouls, remember?
Yes.
Do you think he would be happier somewhere else?
We shouldn't take his remains back to the Bremen camp. It wouldn't be, that wouldn't honor him.
I think here's a good place where he was so wanting to go and no one was willing.
DM, can I
Yeah.
ask out of character if reading what I read about what Rufus had written down about the werewolf and the lycanthrope and all of that sort of stuff, Talia has an intelligence of 18. Was she able to put 2 and 2 together at all?
You, as far as I know, I'm open to arguments. Talia has no reason to think that.
Right. Okay.
I'm basing this off of like his entire drive was to get to this tower, and he's just been
Right.
searching through notebooks. Like, this is an important place to him. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will find a pretty spot and start to dig a little. Can I make like a little cairn?
Yeah.
So I start to try and pick up like pretty rocks.
Yeah. You can find bits and pieces. I mean, you've got half a destroyed tower that used to stand 40 feet high. So you've got lots of stone, and you pick through it and you find kind of impurities in the stone where there's like a chunk of quartz and whatnot, and you kind of chip out some of the just shinier pieces and bring it all together, and you build a nice little cairn for him.
Include some of the pieces of the gargoyle.
Give me a straight persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh God. Okay, hang on.
We can at least take some of the stuff from the trap. That was his. He was so proud of the trap.
Let's do that. Oh, double fives.
No, you go to one of the still destroyed gargoyles, and the reformed one looks over at where you are and says, "That is the property of Wizard Rufus Kingrave." You may, however, salvage what you wish of the trap. You got a little
That fell.
I'm sorry?
The rock.
Dropped on his head is going to be right on top of the.
All right.
Sorry, I just gotta check one thing real quick, but I have something. I think. Hang on.
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
Start braiding little chains out of the flowers.
All right.
I'll poke around the potions that we have, the whiskey potions, and see which one's like the strongest that we have left.
Good idea. Yeah.
That's a great point. All right. Let me.
So
Shots.
Yes. You guys drank the demon's blood.
and the essence of starlight.
Yep.
Or the whatever.
Okay, so the ones you guys have left, of the ones you have left, the strongest, kind of the nose smells of peach and honey and brown sugar, and this one is definitely the strongest of what's left.
Okay, I'll take that one out and have it ready. Yes, yes.
Leah, what were you doing?
Yeah, so a couple of questions. First of all, I need 25 silver pieces. Can we scrounge that up between the group?
Yeah, I got tons.
Okay, or well, 25 gold worth of silver pieces, which would be what? 250, is that right? That's a lot. That would
No,
take a long time to powder.
2.5.
Oh,
Wait, I'm sorry, you need 25 gold worth of silver.
yeah.
That's going to be a little bit more. Yeah, that's going to be
Okay, so that
maybe
probably
about
is too
250 silver pieces.
complicated. And then the other question I was going to ask. So I was going to try to do ceremony because there's a funeral rite attached with that.
Okay.
It says you touch one corpse, and for the next 7 days, it can't become undead by any means short of a wish spell. And it's a first level spell, but it's a ritual. So I don't know. I just looked at the rules. You don't have to have spell slots to cast a ritual, but it doesn't say if you have to have the spell prepared.
I don't think you do.
Also, he's
If I could find, right, but if I could find powdered silver or powder some silver, I don't know if that's too big of a project.
let her do it.
Must maintain concentration.
I bet that Kingrave has some alchemical ingredients that would cover that.
I don't know, and I don't want to waste time looking up rules. We'll say yes.
Okay, because it would take me 10 minutes to cast if I can find the powdered silver.
Yeah, if you want to, if Talia, you want to give me well, Talia or Vera, I would say, could lead this one, and you can have advantage if because other people.
I will lead it if that's okay, because I think I am. It's investigation, is that right?
Investigation.
Yours is better.
Yeah,
How
I
you
have
doing?
a +7.
Yours is way better than mine.
And do I still have that D8, Josh?
Yes.
That's the wrong skill. Hang on. Okay. Well, that's okay. I got a natural 20.
That's a natural 20.
Or 27.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't even have to look through the tower. You just kind of rummage through Jeeves, and you find kind of among, I guess it would probably be with the chemistry, that the potion making kit. Yeah, you find a small vial with a good bit of powdered silver in it.
Okay. So as I set up, I'll just set up the ritual, and I will pray. And I know that Oz probably was just milking Garrett for booze, but Oz did express an interest in Silhaloon, so I will pray, and then I will recite his ditty that he said that made Garrett punch him in the face, and I will bug Liliana and see if she'll let me have some alcohol. And
Got it.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll pour everyone our drink, and then like as we toast, I'll keep the last little bit and pour it over.
Yeah, I was gonna drink half of mine and give him the rest.
Yeah, instead of like the dirt, we're pouring booze. Yeah.
The whiskey is lovely. The cairn is well crafted. You've got daisy chains all over it. You guys each take a sip. It's delicious with just a long finish as you stand and relish your all too few memories of Oz.
and I'm trying desperately not to cry and failing miserably.
Oh, it is echoing in the courtyard. Okay.
Can I say one thing? I'll say it quiet. It's been 156 years, and you don't forget losing your children. Say hello to Theodosia when you get there, Oz. And I'll pour out my half of food.
So would also like to.
Did you say Theodosia? Okay.
How many sons do you
Backstory, I apologize.
have?
Theodosia's her.
The first one? No.
Oh, I forgot she
Oh.
had a namesake. I'm sorry. I'm 0 for 2 on. I need to reread all of your backstories.
Okay, I never sent you that.
Oh, you didn't send me that one. Okay. Okay. Shoji, what were you gonna do?
Yes, I would like to add. Man, we make a lot of funeral speeches. Just saying. Yeah, so I would like to say, well, death has taken yet another soul, but may his find peace in whatever lies beyond. So,
When I have finished my prayers and reciting his horrible poem, I will say, Oz, I will try not to cry because I know you don't care about the sob stories. I'll get on with it. I'll move on. I won't be a fucking Nancy. But you were a brother to me, and you will always be a brother to me. And after all, it's only ghouls. We'll be fine out here.
Laughs, like straight up laugh.
Liliana does not say anything. So Talia, when you kind of hand the flask to her, she just kind of kneels down next to it, puts a hand on the cairn, and just kind of bows her head to the stone and stays there for a moment, and then stands up, takes the vial, throws back half of what's left, and then pours out the rest. And then she just turns and walks back towards the tower.
All right. Shall we get a move on? No.
I have one thing more that I have to say here. It's not for the dead. It's for the living. Liliana, I'm going to need you to come back here, please.
She comes back. She kind of stops and turns her head first and looks at you, and then turns and walks back.
Oz taught me something that Vera has attempted to teach me, but Oz really made it stick these past 2 weeks, wandering through a maze created in our mind. And I need each and every one of you to understand I'm strong, and I'm not going to take it from any of you. And when I say something is a bad decision, and I know more about it than any of you, you could actually listen next time.
And I just like gently put my hand on her elbow. Say, you are strong, my dear. But let us be too.
I just asked to be listened to.
We will,
Because I told you that could have been any one of you.
yes, and that is what we knew.
Was one of you.
And that is the choice he made, and it is the choice every single one of us made.
And it was a stupid choice, Vera.
And we have the right to be stupid.
We couldn't have known how it was going to end up. Every one of us, including Oz, knew that. I'm sorry, Josh, you're going to say something?
No, I'll let you finish.
Including Oz, knew the risks involved. Yes, you are strong, and we are stronger together. Let us all bear the weight of the responsibility of our actions. You are not alone in this, and we will get through.
As your guys' voices got louder and angrier and louder, something huge crashes against the hedge right next to you guys, kind of from the outside. And from the other side, you can see some huge shape is thrashing around in the bushes, and you hear this deep, almost maniacal laughter as something just starts thrashing its way through the bushes towards you guys. What do you do?
I hide.
First of all, out of game, do I need to cue anything?
Nope.
That was a nope? Okay.
Correct.
Cool.
Vera, roll. You're gonna have to run about 20 feet away, but sure, roll a stealth check.
Sweet. Because my instinct when I hear something is to hide and watch.
Liliana
26.
stands on 26. Holy crap! I'm pretty sure that hides from an ancient red dragon.
Yes.
Liliana steps on top of the cairn, faces
Fireball, finally.
faces the hedge, and you see the end of her hand just light up, and there's nothing in her eyes.
I will cast Mage Armor on myself this time.
That's a great move. I applaud. Shoji?
I'll uncharacteristically not be preparing for battle, but take out some whiskey in preparations for perhaps negotiation. You want to join us drinking?
A party.
The hedge explodes as this massive humanoid forces its way through, and none of you have ever seen something like this. Nick, I'm gonna have you introduce your character in just a second, but first I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Welcome to the party, Nick.
It does get worse.
You have advantage, but you saved regardless. So this huge shape comes through. Before you can make out any real details, fire just blossoms and explodes and consumes that whole area of hedge as Liliana releases his spell. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. So Oz, you take 15 points of damage. Okay.
Not Oz,
Nick.
Josh.
I'm sorry, Nick. I meant to say Nick. I wasn't even trying to use the character name. Nick, if you'd like to introduce your character.
Should I turn my mic on and everything? And
Yes, that would.
here we are. Hey.
Hey, buddy.
I forgot to mention at the beginning, like Nick isn't gone. Nick is like he's still here. He hasn't left. And then I forgot. I'm sorry if you thought he was leaving the show.
Honestly, the stream went to hell once Oz died. So you know. Oh, is my mic not working? Hold on.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
So what?
Okay,
Tell
good. Yeah,
us
all right.
what they see as you burst through the hedge.
So as this huge being walks through the large burning bush now for no fucking reason, he steps out and they see a large, just a massive, like 6'8" gray skin thing with tattoos all over his body, and it's like clanking and creaking because there's like skulls and things, and like he's making a lot of noise. And he steps out and he just goes, "What the? Why did you light the bush on fire? I was just coming to see why you were crying so damn loud."
Oh, okay. I'll run up, say, our apologies. We just had a really big fight. We lost a friend. We're drinking here. Have a drink. Join us.
A massive blue dragonborn, just blue scales, similar tattoos to what this gray skin guy has, but they're kind of all over his legs, wearing these like plush boots. Like these are high quality boots, but otherwise has like a long tattered loincloth and tattered furs all over them. Kind of steps around the hedge and peeks in and says, "Guth, we could have gone around. I don't know why you insisted on this way."
Oh, was the bush too dirty or something? Do you want to go through the clean little path around the other way? Shut up, Mom.
That is what I would have preferred, but even still,
we know what you would have preferred, Brom.
And another face kind of peeks around from the other side of the destroyed hedge, and it's another being like the first, gray-skinned. This one female, wearing furs. This one, like Nick's character, barefoot, and wielding a giant axe in one hand and a shield made of what looks like some kind of reinforced bark or bone. And she says, actually, she just strides through the hedge past Nick's character, who's reaching for the alcohol, and says, "That will work for me." Takes it and just downs the whole thing.
Oh, we're gonna need some more. We're gonna need some more.
So you said you lost a friend. Where's the friend? Where did he go? Oh, is he in the shiny pretty rock? Okay. I mean, what
Yeah.
why would you humiliate him like that and bury him in the ground?
Different cultures, you know.
I'm still hiding.
You are still hiding.
I'll talk to Sho because Sho's the only one responding to me at all.
I'm also passing out drinks.
Sure. Okay, how did he die? We need to do the appropriate rites if he died. Well, how did he die?
He was
he was disintegrated, you know, made
Descent
into
what?
dust.
Don't say you know and say a fake word before you say you know. Nobody knows what dentation. What? Okay. So
Okay, let
Female
me
Goliath, the female Goliath kind of drapes an arm around his shoulder in a very possessive way, and says, "Perhaps he was not a friend."
No,
That is
he
why.
was-
Yes.
you'll see Goof like recoil and kind of like shove the arm off of him and kind of step forward. And he's like, okay, so he turned to ash. So he was already burned. You said he was
No.
already burned?
So bad man turned him into dust.
Okay, so he's already gone.
Yes.
Oh, so the spirits claimed him. So he was an honorable man. He fought and died honorably because he was already burned and turned to ash.
Very honorably. He was
Why
very
is
brave.
everybody fucking crying then? Oh my God. He
I
was
jump
out.
when he swears and smack him in the back of the knee as hard as I can reach.
That's about as high as you can reach. He is a good 2.5 times taller than you are.
I spin around at eye level and see nothing. And what? Where is the enemy? Was that you, Bram? I'll fucking kill you. I stop this.
He's dancing around like, what is that hitting me? And a fourth shape kind of lumbers through the clearing smoke from the still smoldering hedge, and it's just this massive orc. Not nearly as tall as Guth, but much broader. Just kind of lumbers through, looks around. Good shnenima.
Nice of you to join us, freaking Tharug. And I'll talk back to him in orc.
This guy does not have a high enough intelligence modifier to know more than one language. So he is speaking in orc. Oz, you and the others know that he just said
Not
essentially, what the hell? Why did you leave me behind? Is that alcohol?
I'll just go, why did you get left behind? And then I'll just keep talking to them. And I'll say, okay, so he was burned. Do we need to do the appropriate rites? Was everything good?
I already did.
Already did. So why did you cover him in flowers? It can't be a very appropriate rite for someone who, if he was a warrior, I'm sure that's not what he would have wanted.
We added alcohol, don't worry.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. And you see, like, all the shamans nod, like, oh, okay.
The orc walks over to you, grabs the bag that has the alcohol in it, and just like, are you wearing it or holding it?
I would be holding it because I'm like trying to find some and pass it out.
He just kind of grabs it out of your hand and like pushes you back on your butt and just kind of starts rummaging.
Okay, I'll let this happen, but I'll kind of just like glare at him like, it's my alcohol.
He pulls out one of the vials, downs it, crushes the glass, throws it away, takes another one, downs
Hey,
it.
can I ask the guy, hey, stop your friend. That's hard to come by.
You stop him. Why the fuck would I stop him? He's stronger than you, so just
Okay,
stop
I
him.
cast chill touch.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
Like, when you asked that question, Guth looked genuinely shocked that you asked him to stop his friend.
I thought communication might be, but yeah, you're right. Action is stronger than words, right? I like this way of thinking.
Total?
So that's an 18. If she adds her
Oh,
appropriate.
Because it's
Right,
plus,
yes,
plus 7.
yes.
Cool. Yeah. Chill touch hits him. He immediately goes into a rage.
Oh, crap.
Drops the pack, takes out a great axe, and slams down on you.
Oh. Can I roll damage for chill touch?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll damage. Damn, dude. Seriously? Oh, that's going to be a plus 7. Does a 14 hit your armor class?
How long does my
Yes.
armor class is 14, but how long does the thing that
It only
Talia
lasts a
cast?
minute. It's gone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that Shield of Faith is gone. Cool. What does he take? He takes 7, halved.
He wasn't
It's
raging when she.
Magical.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
that's right.
He was not raging.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
roll 7. And his axe crashes down on you for 12 points of damage.
Okay. In response, can I cast again? Fear.
Sure. Go ahead and cast Fear.
As a waste of a spell slot, but okay.
What kind of save is it?
Let me read the description.
Josh, if he's raging.
Wisdom saving.
It does not appear to be a charm effect.
Oh, really?
He's immune. I think that's Berserker, isn't it? I think you have to be a Berserker.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, you have to be high enough Berserker to be immune to it. Cool. Wisdom save?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. 25.
Damn.
And he hits you again.
Okay.
You take 6 points of slashing damage. You guys are watching as this orc, in full rage, two-handed great axe, is just slamming it down, and Shoji is desperately like rolling to the side, rolling to the other side. Spell. Is anybody?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Toledo, what are you doing?
I'm going to step out, say, hold on there, big friend. Step out, and I'm going to say, Shoji, stop it. I'm going to look at the orc,
cool.
and I'm going to tell him to stop.
Yeah, give me a persuasion roll with disadvantage, because he doesn't speak your language.
Cool. Well, it would be with disadvantage anyway, because I'm exhausted. $11. Can I add my inspiration to that?
Sure.
D8.
So that's a 19.
A 19. Okay. His axe pauses above. He looks at the female Goliath, picks up the pack, walks a few steps away, buries the axe in the ground, pulls out another vial, drinks, crushes, throws the shards away.
Miss Show, don't do that anymore, please.
It's my alcohol.
We get back
took
to
it.
the camp in one piece, and I will make sure you get more alcohol.
But it was so magical.
Can we, I'm just going to walk out into the middle, this itty bitty person. I am the itty bittiest of all.
This little person comes out of nowhere.
Don't hurt the little person, please.
I just do my best mom glare around the circle and just go, I personally have a thing against killing people when I don't know their names. Introductions, perhaps, are in order?
As she steps out, I'm going to shout, "Oh fuck! It's a Meleptera!" Josh should know what that is. And I'll step aside. I'll notice that it's her. And I'll say, "Okay, fine. What do we need to talk about?"
My name is Mrs. Sarah, and you are?
My name is Guth Molekbreaker, the shaman of the Goja. This is idiot, and he points at the blue one, and then he says, "This is bigger idiot," and he points at the one drinking the alcohol, and then he'll say, "And this is Ivester," and then he points at the woman.
who puts her arm kind of possessively around his shoulder again and glares at. She can't really tell ages among other races, so all three of you.
Sorry, could you repeat those names? So I can finish my notes.
It was Gideon, Bigger Idiot, and Ivester.
Didn't hear the first one again.
He didn't give the first two names. He called them idiot. So
Idiot 1, Idiot 2,
Okay.
and the wife.
Guth Ivester says, just kind of whispers in Orc in your ear, "This is boring. Can we go now?"
Okay, let's. I'll just kind of like, again, you watch me like peel the arm off of my shoulder, and like I just kind of like, we need to take care of the dead. He was an honorable man. Okay, we need to make sure that his spirit is centered back into the cycle. Okay, what can you tell me about how he died?
I will take a big, deep sigh and say, all right, I will attempt not to use words that will escape their understanding. But there's a very powerful magic user. Very powerful, bad magic man. Okay?
I'm going to lean in front of her and snap and say, "Okay." I'll cast Produce Flame in my hand and be like, "Okay, not the fucking idiot. I'm asking to give your friend some honor."
No.
So
I was
figure this
explaining
out?
for their benefit because you just called them idiots.
You are very small to be very demeaning. Do you know that, right? This is not a good position for you.
All right. So the big wizard disintegrated my friend. That means he pointed his finger at him and poof.
That seems like less of an honorable death than I would believe, but apparently he's made of ash.
What my friend did is right before that happened, he has his big, huge sword.
Ooh, I
and
like
he's
a big sword.
standing up like this, screaming at this wizard man.
On fire.
And he was on fire, yes. And he built this beautiful, amazing trap to kill the wizard man when he opened the door.
A big
And it
trap.
almost worked. Yeah, he was very smart.
Very smart.
And then he was yelling nightmare in his face. I saw the fear in his eyes.
It was a glorious
Even
death.
so much, and this is the other thing. I shouted out to try to distract the bad wizard man's attention away from my friend. And the bad wizard man hates me a lot. But he still went for my friend. So my friend died saving my life. That's honorable.
He'll close his fist and the Produce Flame's just gonna just snuff it out, and he'll just kind of pound his chest, and he's gonna just start speaking in Orc, which I assume no one else knows. And he just starts speaking, like closing his eyes and like looks very like nods his head, and he says like, "Your friend sounds like a man that I would have loved to punch in the face." Wow, what a powerful and I feel cheated. I feel like I didn't get to meet a cool dude. Okay. All right. And he walks over to the grave. He walks over to the grave and he leans on the ground and his eyes like close. And you see like tattoos on his neck kind of start to glow. And he puts his hands on the ground and the earth around it starts to move. And he keeps he's chanting an orc while he's doing this. No one understands it. It rises in crescendos, and to some of you almost sounds like some like musical, but you can't quite put your finger on the melody, but something about it's musical. And you see the ground in front of it start to shape and like collect in like small cave drawings of humanoid man holding a massive sword on fire, just swinging it around, and they start to like move in like a very like slideshow-esque way. You see Guth pretty much paint the picture of what you described to him, and that kind of just like slowly repeats like a GIF on the ground. Oh no!
While you're looking for that,
Is the Wi-Fi on?
No, you just keep compressing, and then it all comes really quickly, and then it pauses, and then it all comes really. But we heard all of that.
Okay, well he does that, and he puts this whole thing on there, and I'll just stand here and wait while that fixes. But yeah, that's what he does on the ground.
You guys are still over by the Dragonborn and the orc and the other Goliath, and the Dragonborn looks over at the Goliath and says, in common, he cannot find the animal spirits, and so now he stoops to theirs. And Investor just kind of shrugs.
Can I walk up to Guth?
Yeah.
And I just sit there and I watch the pattern.
You see little swirl, like the scene with Oz drastically exaggerated in size and stature and his sword, but yeah, in kind of this swirling dust and clay, kind of that scene in basic form play out.
I'm going to say quietly to Guth, you have a gift, young man. And then I want to ask, can I tell with my very limited experience, is this divine? Is this arcane? What is this?
You have no idea.
I'm going to say, you have a gift. What is it?
Okay, so the video feed has paused for me.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I can hear you. It's everyone's paused. So anyway, I'll just keep talking. So yeah, you walk up to Guth and you ask him that, and he says, well, I mean, it was given to me by the spirits. It's not really a gift that I have. My gift is more of and he punches the ground really hard. And then he smiles at you, and you see that there are like several teeth missing. Just like he just gives a big smile, and that's.
What else is a gift but something that's given?
I guess, okay. What is with your whole thing and the words thing? I'm not a dumb person. I'm just trying to help you. We can leave. It really wouldn't be a problem for us to just leave. You could sit and cry about your weird beard dude here more. I mean, he's gone. You're not going to help him by crying more. You're not going to help yourself by crying more. Stop fucking crying, okay? Like, God, I heard you. Don't stop hitting me. You're very small to be doing that.
You know, oddly, I think that you struck upon the very thing that my friend said to me so many times. So, yeah, you're right. You have captured his spirit very well, and I thank you.
Where are you headed?
He takes a deep, deep sigh and kind of looks over his shoulder at the other like tall, burly people behind him, and he says, well, we are looking for the spirits. They kind of went crazy. We got to make sure that they're not going crazy or something. I'm not okay. Well, you
Actually, Guth is looking for the spirits. We have found ours, and we're ready to go.
You're looking.
Yes, we've found ours.
we only found Brahm's spirits because he was We had to help him out because no one thought he'd find it by himself. Don't look at me like it's my fault. The spirits show up when they want to.
You
We
mean
did
you're
not say it was your fault. Simply that we are done, and perhaps you can try next season.
wait. You're trying to forge some sort of connection with the cosmic entity, and they're not talking back to you.
It feels very pointed, and I hesitate to say yes, but yes.
Oh my gosh, you are my new best friend.
I don't want to know your name.
I am looking for my spirit too.
Vera,
Maybe we
as
can work together.
Talia said that, Vera, you noticed that Yvester took a very aggressive step towards Talia.
I'm just going to sidle over to, is it Yvester?
Yeah.
Yvester and unrequited, is it?
Just give me a persuasion check. With disadvantage because you're little.
Oh. Name.
He sneers down at you a little bit and chuckles and mutters something in a language. You don't speak Orc, right?
No.
Yeah, she mutters something that you do not understand. Shoji, while all of this is happening, oh, there's two Nicks now. Oh, geez.
He's not.
Oh no. He's very cute. I think he's
I'm watching as our internet just keeps messing up. I'm sorry, I didn't do anything.
Well, the other Nick is frozen.
I can see everyone now.
Oh, okay.
Well, all of
Only
this
one of you now.
the orc.
What happened to Yvester? What did she say back? I missed that.
She just said something in Orcish that Vera didn't understand.
I just sympathetic.
Shoji, while all of that's going on, the orc shuffles back over to you. Just kind of dumps the empty backpack on the ground and just kind of lumbers over and just plops down next to you, and you can feel the ground near you shake as he just sits there like arms like curled up on his knees, just this massive shape next to you. And looks at you and seems to be asking a question, but you don't understand the language. His face is right up to yours.
Okay, I'd like to like crouch down and just kind of, you know.
What did you say?
What was that, good?
What does he hear me say? What do I hear him say?
So this is while you're having a conversation with Vera.
Okay.
So you guys are 20 feet away.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
So you just stare at him.
Yeah, I'll try to figure out what he's trying to say, like if he's gesturing or something.
He repeats the same thing a couple of times, glowers at you, and points over at Gooth, and repeats the question. After a little bit of this, you're not getting it, and the Dragonborn walks over. He asks if Goose is attractive to you.
Oh my gosh. That's really strange. Yes. Yes. He's very strong.
More and more of this just kind of gnarled, coarse language comes out of the orc, and Bruum, kind of heavy sighs. He says, Goose has spoken very highly of you. He admires your thighs.
That's great. Skeleton person over here. Ah, all right. Okay, yeah. Not sure what to do with that.
Bruin translates that to the orc. The orc looks back at you and another string of just this gnarled language. And he says, it is very simple. Find him at night and draw him away.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy you told me.
The Dragonborn translates back to the orc, who nods, stands up, and walks away from you.
I'm gonna kind of grab the empty backpack.
All of the whiskey and all of your rations.
Yeah.
As is your healer's kit.
Oh, gosh.
It's okay. I only heal people half the time anyways. It's all right.
She only pretends to heal people.
Yeah, I didn't really need it. Yeah.
Those are all of the useful things that were in your backpack. So you took those.
Okay.
Your money, you've got like 600 gold and then like a couple of handfuls of silver and copper. That's just scattered over the ground, untouched.
All right. I'll just pick it up. Just okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll that back into the bag. Some of the gold pieces have tooth marks on them.
That's cool. Yeah.
Well, Goose, I know a man who might be able to help you. He tried to help me. Maybe he can help you too.
Is he the one underneath the flowers?
No,
Okay.
he's not.
All right. So you seem to talk to him like he's alive, so I just wanted to clarify.
How long were you watching us?
You were crying so loud for like 10 minutes. I walked through the bushes to get to you. Like, don't be like, were you eavesdropping? I'm not the weirdo. You were crying really loud.
Well, I'm thankful. Perhaps you kept other things from interrupting us then. So you have my thanks for that.
Oh yeah, we had to beat off a couple of the other cheaters before you got here.
The what?
The cheaters. The sore
Yeah.
losers.
Oh.
They do it twice. You can't do it twice, and they came twice. And they look a lot like the weird bony one over there. They kind of like they go like and it's very like yeah.
Okay. You
The sore
didn't
losers.
You didn't see a tall, silver-haired man in really fancy robes?
Did I?
Give me a perception check, retroactively.
Aha. Let's see how I do. Oh, nope. 1 second. Sorry, that's me.
Actually, his first roll was a death save. Nope. Actually, you saw lots of silver-haired people, but they looked like pretty old losers.
Oh, yeah, I saw a couple of the other tea drinkers, if that's what you're talking about. Like, they got the long hair. Why do you need long hair? It's wasteful. I don't.
Ears? Pointy ears?
Probably. I don't know. They're weird and they're just not very useful. I don't know. Why would you ever look like that? Like, you could be strong, or you could be like,
Right.
oh, man.
And why would you go flouncing all over the countryside in a pair of luxuriously beautiful robes? Like, who does that? Right?
That's
Only a
exactly.
peasant.
Why do you need pretty clothes? See, and he like
Exactly.
grabs at his very thin brown loincloth. He's like, this is really all that you need. You don't need more clothes. Like,
It's pretty much the only thing he's wearing.
Okay. Great. So, Vera, do you think that perhaps we should bring them along and introduce them to our other friends?
As you say that, you see that the orc and the dragonborn have kind of drawn Vera away, and are having a separate conversation.
Oh,
Vera.
Draconic.
Yes. The half orc like gets way down on his haunches and looks you in the face and asks you something in orc. And the dragonborn says, he points a thumb over at Guth. Are you attracted to Guth? He is shapely to you.
I can't hear you.
He is shapely to you.
I'm married, dearie. And I hold up my hand with my wedding ring.
he translates back to the orc, who kind of looks at him like, what? Looks at you, sees the shiny on your finger, and reaches for it before the dragonborn. Oh, the dragonborn smacks his hand away and is like, and is placating him somehow in orcish, and he starts translating for the orc again. He says, Guth has spoken very highly of you. He likes your thighs.
I'm so sorry. I turned to the dragonborn.
Yeah.
I have been listening to the whole conversation that has happened since you fellows approached our party. There is literally no way he had time to say that.
As you start to explain to the dragonborn, the orc kind of looks back and forth between you two before he interrupts and says something to the dragonborn. The dragonborn goes, yeah. He says Guth has his totem pole is very large.
Married, lovey. Married. And also,
I don't know this word.
this way. I'm not sure your friend, that the young lady over here, would approve. She seems to have an eye for the gentleman herself.
The orc says something. The dragonborn listens. Tirrug says Guth has spoken very highly of your eyes.
You're moving up, which I appreciate. But yeah. However, if you are interested in matchmaking, as you appear to be, frankly, why are you interested in matchmaking for your friends? You're not capable of finding a young lady under his own power.
Bruum translates. Tirrug says something, and Bruum says, you can bear children, yes?
Not anymore.
He translates back to Tirrug, gets up, and kind of walks away, and is then just watching the rest of the conversation that's happening between Guth and Talia, just kind of on the periphery. Vera, roll an insight check.
Not good.
Yeah, you don't know what the hell that was about.
Well, clearly, Goose, they didn't want Goose to have children.
Tirrug clearly wants you to get with Guth.
I know.
great.
Okay. And we return back to the main conversation here.
I didn't think there was enough romantic tension, so I just made NPCs.
I don't know what you're talking about as far as romantic tension. There is no romantic tension in this game.
Nick gave me NPCs and I extrapolated. Amazing.
Well, I will say to Guth, will you hold on just a second, and I will head towards Vera.
Vera is standing there looking
No.
very confused, and she tries to ask a question to the Dragonborn, who just.
You cut out there, Josh. I didn't hear you.
You walk over to Vera, just as the Dragonborn kind of walks away, and Vera it looks like she's trying to ask a question, but the Dragonborn just ignores her. And she's you walk over to Vera.
Vera, do you think perhaps we could take them with us?
I do think we'd have certainly a better shot of getting out of this city alive with some assistance.
Right?
What can we offer them?
Can I hear that? This
I don't know.
conversation?
Yeah, you're not currently engaged in a conversation. Are you guys trying to keep this quiet?
No, not necessarily. Just, know.
The groups showed you. The groups keep like forming small conversation and then breaking up and just form different conversations, and then one person standing off on their own. But yeah, you can. If you want to focus on this conversation, yeah, you can hear this.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if perhaps you were talking to the others when I was talking with Guth about this, but he is apparently seeking spiritual guidance. And I believe I may have a man for the job.
He's certainly seeking spiritual guidance amongst other things, although that might be his wingman.
What?
I'll tell you when you're older, and I will walk into and say, my friends and I are heading out of this city. I understand you are on a quest of some kind. Will that also take you out of this place?
Yes, we are leaving the city. You can follow if you want. The whelps and the grass feeders go behind. But we'll keep moving forward if you want. I was trying to be honorable of your friend. I really don't care if you guys follow us. Because probably you won't survive. So I'm not going to invest much into it. Anyway, you can follow if you want. We're going that way. And he points towards the outside of the city.
Is it in the same direction as the Bremen camp?
Probably. He just kind of
that's
his
that's the
point.
part of
He very much points and goes, "I'm going that way," and does a pan of the whole wall that way. He's just kind of following something.
Do you have children with you?
Well, and he points at Tyrug, and he's just well, I mean, fucking one of them has the brain of an insect, so I don't know what you want. I mean, I'm not. You can't. You feel like I feel like you want us to have you want our kids. I don't. Are you some mom thing? I don't get it. You can't have a whole I'm in charge, but you're very small, so you obviously couldn't be in charge. So I don't really know what you're talking about.
There were others standing behind you.
No,
Vera,
it's just
I believe
us.
he was
Everyone
referring
else
to
is away from this stupid the walls. Why would anyone ever hang out in walls?
You don't live inside walls?
No, I'm not a wall hugger, and he gets upset at that. You think I would stay inside the walls? But you're stupid. Mom jumped over your wall in one fucking jump. You don't need. It's ridiculous. Why would you be so your freedom, your self-sufficiency? It's so. That wall is your prison. It's ridiculous. I don't understand you, Southern folk.
So how do you live out there?
You kill things and then you eat them. I don't know. See, you're the first one who is being really smart and snide, but now you're asking really stupid fucking questions. So I don't know what.
No. It's just that you go outside the walls and things eat you and kill. Well, maybe if you're big.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and nothing eats fucking me. Okay, I fucking kill things. You should be more like your friend who sets traps and breaks shit. I liked that dude. Why? It's kind of unfortunate I met you as a group without him, because you would have been much better off if I had known that Oz was here or something. You didn't know Oz. Never mind. Sorry.
I don't think the name has been spoken.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't. That slipped.
Actually, I said Oz several times in my last little speech.
Yeah, she was crying a lot. Never mind. He did say that.
Well, perhaps we can prove our survival skills if we travel together briefly.
Okay, like this conversation is getting tiresome. You can follow us. I don't need. There doesn't need to be like a mutual agreement, because your side doesn't matter, because my side's what's important. So, and he like turns around and starts walking away.
Here's the story. Good.
He like waves on the other shamans. He's like, okay, let's go.
All right, I'm following them. Like, yep.
I know where this
Guth and Bruin are flanking him. Tirug Talia watches as Guth walks away and then starts approaching you.
Okay.
I just whisper to Talia really fast. Just go with it.
What?
Then I walk away.
Yeah, I'm following everyone.
Okay.
Talia, roll an insight check.
Cool. Insight. Okay. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I gotta roll that with disadvantage because I'm tired.
Oh,
Okay, it still is a 10.
10. You're really not sure what he's trying to communicate. At one point, like with his hands, he starts going like this, and you're really just not sure what's happening, but he keeps pointing over at Guth and then doing that. It's an extremely confusing conversation, and eventually he just kind of snorts in disgust and walks away.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay.
That was weird. But here's the thing, my fine new friends. So I know that
they turned and walked. They are out of sight at this point.
We're trotting after them, so they do.
great, yeah.
You're kind of jogging after Tirug.
Okay.
Yeah. Eventually, you catch up to them. And are you guys leaving the tower? Like, are you guys just gonna follow the orcs, or did you want to do anything left with the tower? They're leaving.
I don't have any warding spells, so there's nothing I can do as far as.
You've delayed the blow up, which is valuable.
Yeah,
So-
but I'm just thinking of keeping Kelfir from getting into the circle chamber, and there's no way I can do anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm taking the orb with us, if that matters. And DM, I said this last session before people died. But I took every bit of paper that was in that whole place.
Oh yeah.
And I have it all. I have all of his notes, every piece of scrap paper. I have everything. So there are no notes there.
Yeah, you have something in your inventory that says Kingrave's notes. Like you've got.
I have all of that because
Yep.
I had plenty of time to get it all. So okay.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you say.
Okay.
You have all
I'm
of
just
those.
reiterating.
But
And
did you get everything?
And I'm taking the orb with me.
Okay, you've got the orb.
Yeah. And then I'll say maybe the commandant, I don't know, maybe one of the Terravancers could, I don't know, Vera.
Or perhaps in 7 weeks we let this thing blow itself to kingdom come.
Okay.
That would be a terrible waste, but as it is.
Alternatives.
So I think perhaps if we convince our friends that we know where alcohol is, we may be able to kind of steer them in the direction we want them to go.
So speaking of your friends, you've got about 15 seconds before they're out of sight.
I'm already following them. Yeah, like
Yeah, we're
I'm like,
walking in
okay,
sync.
they're strong. I'm weak. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're walking and talking, not stopping and talking.
Okay. So real quick then, let's figure out what's going on with kind of this effort to travel the city.
Well, I'm going to tell them that the Bremans have booze.
Gotcha. Okay.
Another thing I just would like to point out, like Sho remembers, but she's not going to say anything. There's those two people tied up. Yeah. She's not going to say anything. Yeah.
Josh, can I roll an intelligence check just to see if in all the kerfuffle and the emotional stuff Talia would remember?
I shouldn't have said anything. I should have waited.
I will give you an intelligence check. It is at disadvantage.
Because I'm exhausted anyway, so yeah.
Exhausted, yeah.
Forgetful.
All the stuff going on, you know.
That's just intelligence, right? Hang on.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay.
So 17.
17. You do remember them.
I almost shout out shit, and then I remember that Vera will hit me, and I go, okay, Vera, the two men. We can't just leave them there for the ghouls.
I'm on a lot of drugs right now. I am faster than all of you. I'll run back, cut their box.
But if they're not up, if they're not awake, you can't carry them.
They're safe in the tower, aren't they? And if anybody's going to come back for them, it's Kelthir will be the next one in the tower. I will untie them.
They're fine. I don't know. Out of character, they're fine. Like
We cannot take them with us.
So real quick, just so that you guys understand, if you are stopping, then you basically need to make a decision right now what you're doing. Otherwise, you're losing sight of the group. If you are continuing along with the group, know that you are increasing the chance of an encounter if anybody runs back to the tower. So just so you understand.
It's also early morning.
Mid-morning at this point, yeah.
Mid-morning. And then we, on our excursions through the city, we have found that we tend to get accosted, like if we make noise, you know, that sort of thing. So it's not necessarily the case that people unconscious in a tower are necessarily going to be like immediately discovered.
I mean, as far as you guys know, the tower has just been sitting there for a year, and there were no ghouls in it or anything in it when you opened it up.
And nothing had messed with Kingrave's body.
Yeah, there were no scavengers, nothing.
Yeah, at this point, it's more of a question like their life or risking yours.
So yeah, I need a decision.
What should we do, Vera? Should we send someone back for them? Or should we go back for them?
How tightly did we tie them?
You did the best you could.
The roll was pretty low.
Yeah. They'll help each other. They're not dead. We didn't do our best work.
So let me emphasize, there is no more time for discussion.
Yeah,
I need on what you're doing.
I'm walking towards following.
Yeah, I'm following.
Yeah, they're still walking. The shamans.
Talia, you're way up there, right? Like with the group as it's rounding the corner out of sight.
Sho is, not Talia.
No, Sho. Talia, are you following the group or are you going back to the tower?
What? I don't. It would be stupid for me to go back to the tower by myself. And Vera has kept walking. Is that the case?
Yes.
I'm a good person, but I'm not an idiot. and I'm already pretty hurt.
And we didn't doom them. Not really.
Yeah, I'll keep walking because I'll think that maybe the commandant will let me send somebody back for them.
Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. You guys can throw any number of hit dice that you like, basically at the encounters, and then we'll roll to avoid the encounters as normal. Depending on the difficulty of the encounter, that will subtract from your basically hit dice pool. So this is a way that a system I created to speed up combat because there's a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Especially in these cities, and so we use hit dice as basically a resource to simulate the damage they would have taken, and then whatnot. So you guys can skip easy, medium, and hard and trivial encounters. Any deadly encounters that I've rolled cannot be skipped, but everything else will subtract from your hit dice. Guth.
I will just say that Guth and the shamans have no idea that this city is dangerous. They will do what they can to avoid everything because they're not idiots, you know. I mean, they've lived nomadically. Like, they're not going to fight something they can't beat. So I'll say they all use all of their hit dice to avoid it, like all 4 shamans. But, like, they'll be mostly surprised and probably won't be stealthing is the thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Good. So again, I think what is it? Hard encounters are 3. Easy encounters are. Oh shoot! I thought I had this. Let me pull up my rules. This is the downside to live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, while you look up your rules, I would like to remind our viewers that Becca runs a lovely game of Heroes on the Edge of Desolation on Monday nights at 6:30 on this channel. Don't forget about JM's games that he runs. I believe we host on Iconic, but they are actually now run on the Ulysses International channel. Those are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I believe we're doing Torg, and I don't remember if Fading Suns is back yet or not. But, okay, he's giving me the nod. Fading Suns and Torg, it is on Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30. So please, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, all those good things. Do you still need me to keep going, Josh?
Nope, I got it.
Okay.
So, like, the next combat encounter, like, might be sponsored by Dwarven Forge, maybe. Sponsor us. Yeah.
Despite the fact that we use none of their products.
Thank you, though. We could, if they did. I'm just saying we're open to it. As a player, I'm open to it.
Not on this show, I mean. I know that the other ones do. JM just went to get stuff. I know. I'm sorry, JM. I meant on this show. Although we can, if you want to sponsor us, I will happily use your stuff. All right. So five hit dice for a hard, 3 for a medium, 1 for an easy. So
You're getting
all of
40 from the shaman. So
yeah, all of the orcs are throwing all of their stuff. So
Question.
Yeah.
Is this a collective, like every person has to take out that many hit dice, or is it like taken from a pool?
If you want to skip a hard encounter, which is 5, basically, as long as there are 5 hit dice per player, you're fine. So if there are 2 people and one of them spends 10, you can skip the encounter.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
it doesn't matter where they come from, but as long as there's enough to pay for each person. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So between 4 orcs, that gives us
20.
3 orcs and Dragonborn. 48. That's not 48. So I'm sorry, Guth, you have 5.
yeah, it's 20 because we each give 5.
They are higher level than you are.
I'll also throw my hit dice all in.
They
Oh,
found,
okay, Josh. All right.
they found their totem creatures.
Don't make my NPCs better than me. That seems like rude. That seems
I got that feeling though.
Yeah,
Give me the story. You've released it into the world.
I didn't intend
I'll
my
be upset
NPC
about
to
it. I'm not.
spell.
Are you guys all just dumping all of the hit dice?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would also like to heal myself before I go anywhere because I'm about to die.
You got it. All right. So you guys have a total of 49 hit dice, and there are
Josh.
4.
Oh wait.
8.
Sorry. I can check. Nice. Cool. Never mind.
Oh, righty there. So again, this is an 8 encounter journey. So, with the orcs ahead, here's what we're gonna do. You see Yvester's form. Oh wait, no, she can't yet, can she? Crap baskets. Never mind. That does not happen. So, Vera, it's going to be really difficult for you to scout ahead because they are faster than you. I'll let you continue making your perception checks if you take a point of exhaustion.
Question.
Yes.
Are they faster than me on drugs?
They are not faster than you on drugs. I take all of that back. Vera, you are perfectly capable of staying a few steps ahead. Don't get the wrong message, kids. You are perfectly capable of staying a few steps ahead of them and letting all of the orcs know what they run into. So for this first check, you can roll
Perception?
Well, so all of you except the Dragonborn are orcs. Goliath, remember, Goliaths are a sub-race of orcs. So I will often refer to you guys collectively as the orcs.
That's good to know. All right.
Perception.
Yeah. So don't roll yet.
Okay.
So you're doing the perception. We are we'll need somebody to navigate. Talia,
I'm
just
at
give
a
me
disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh, so do you want to try, or are you just gonna let the orcs do it?
I'm smarter than they are, but I'm at disadvantage.
You don't know that.
I know that.
I am very
I know
smart.
that. I have talked to
I'm a
all
very
of you.
smart
I know
man.
that you are not smarter than me.
Disinterizzle.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I thought it was intelligence.
No, you're trying to persuade the orcs to slow down so you can navigate.
Oh, okay. Cool. Persuasion at disadvantage. 10.
10?
Yep.
You tell me, Nick, is a 10 enough, or are you guys just like, nah, forget this
I'm
person?
telling them. Oh, hold on. Let me finish first. I'm telling them that I know where more booze is. See if that affects the DC.
Sure. Guth says, "Listen, I said whelps in the back," and waves you off.
That's rude.
Okay. Yeah, you have been thoroughly rejected. So if Esther will do the tracking then. She'll roll survival to try and navigate here. And then if one of those fails, then somebody makes a third thing to try and get rid of it. So for this first check, Vera, go ahead and give me a perception. Esther will make a survival. Perfect. You guys nail the first check. You make it past a group of ghouls. that are led by just kind of a thicker one with kind of ropier muscle, where its arms hang almost to the ground, and it just has this long tongue as it just kind of swings its head side to side. You guys managed to pass that. For the second check, Vera.
As you walk by them, you see Gooth kind of like ready his axe. He's got like a bone. It looks like the bone, like the leg bone of a humanoid, and like a stone on the readies it and walks forward, and then like Evester grabs his shoulder and he goes like, "Okay, fine, be really easy," and they just kind of keep walking.
For this one, I'll say Broom kind of puts a hand on your arm and goes, in Orc, please, no, they look filthy.
There's a
that
clean
would be a
freak
tragedy,
that's
wouldn't it?
traveling
They're
with a
very
bunch of
dirty.
orcs. I love this.
Okay, wild success on the third one. On the second one. Vera, give me a third.
Since they won't let me navigate, I will guide Vera.
Oh, okay. Vera, you
So add a d4.
have a D4.
Okay, it won't help much.
It'll help enough.
Good. Thank you.
So Talia, I will assume that you are.
I'm going to do that on all of her rolls from now on.
Well, so the problem is that she is ranging ahead and isn't really coming back to hang with you. She's really going ahead, scouting,
Yep.
and then coming back. Because this is a series of checks, but really we're kind of generally simulating a long journey, I'll let her just put that 3 on each of the checks.
Okay.
We'll say she's got a consistent guidance.
Okay.
Okay. Was that was the fourth one? Cess, give us the fifth one. You know who's really fucking good at navigation? This girl. Okay? It's like 18, 17, nat 20, all plus Vera with a 23. Cool.
And the thing is, Gooth looks just completely unimpressed, and like he's like, "Yeah, just keep doing your job, please." I mean, I don't know, like.
Talia, give me an insight check with disadvantage.
Poor girl.
Okay. And Josh, you don't have to keep telling me disadvantage every time. I remember.
Okay, so I wasn't trying to harass you. It's
15.
more for me. That's not gonna work. Cool.
You just enjoy it. You just enjoy saying disadvantage.
From your vantage point at the back of this group, you get a better sense of the kind of the social interaction among all of the orcs. Yeah, Evester is clearly taken with Gooth. Gooth is clearly ignoring her.
Well, that's kind of rude.
You can see that it's that Evester reacts to that as a challenge, and it is encouraging her. You can see that Bruam just really doesn't want to be here. He's not involved in whatever that is, but you do notice Tirug occasionally cast a dirty glance at Gooth.
Oh, so Jenny's starting to put this together, but I don't think that Talia's tuned in enough to that to understand what's going on, but Jenny's getting it. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, here, have him find somebody else so I can have this woman.
And
I read the NPCs and I was prepping this today, and I was just like, okay, so this is what's happening. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Josh, that's pretty much what I was expecting. And I was like, let's just throw some drama on this shit.
That's great stories.
Okay. Third to last. I'm sorry, Talia, you were casting guidance. Right. Okay, good.
Yep.
Third to last check. Check number 6. Yeah. 25.
wait, God, I miss druids.
Fuck yeah.
25.
They're not druids. What are you talking about, Jenny?
Oh, sure.
Who knows what they are? They could be werewolves. Who knows?
So Vera, give me another perception check.
I did.
It's 25.
It is not. It's not in the tray. Oh no, that was the last one. We're now on check 7.
No, she rolled it since I rolled my insight, Josh.
I know that was check number
Okay.
6.
Okay.
This is 7. 13 plus 3, so 16. Okay.
Mhm.
Very last check.
Go on, Hara. Hara, no.
Oh,
Lots.
23, 22.
she Vesta rolled a 2.
Okay, but we spent 49 hit dice.
God, what a useful woman.
Yes, excellent. And so this would have been 1, 3. And you lower city 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You guys have enough to skip this one. So that is just going to cost. It was an easy encounter, so that only costs the group a total of 8, which means you have 41 left. And so I'll figure out how to distribute those to you guys. But you guys will get some of those hit dice back because you only ended up having to skip one encounter because you avoided the rest. So just as you guys are getting into the vicinity of the Legion camp, you see you don't notice it at first, but eventually webs. You can see doorways just with these big webs across them that get kind of bigger and thicker, and you can see some are formed into like tunnels that go into some of these buildings. And Evester walked you guys right into a small section of the lower city that looks like it's just infested with these giant spiders. And a bunch of them, 12 of them, just kind of scuttle out, slinging webs. The barbarians go absolutely nuts, smash them. You watch Tirug just turn into a bear and just start smashing and ripping some of them apart. It's glorious. And you guys effortlessly smash your way through them. As you look around, you can see other webs in other places starting to move. It's like, this is not a good place of the city to be in, so you guys kind of book it for that last stretch until you are on the ramp that leads up to the Legion camp.
Okay.
Yeah, Talia.
And when we get within, like, away from the spiders and within archery range, I will use my last use of Samvalhain's candle to send a message to the commandant to let her know that we found some large friends and they're with us outside the gate right now.
During the fight, just before we move with that, during the fight, you just hear just like an eruption of laughter from Guth. He is like laughing and like pulling legs off these spiders, going like, ah ha ha, and he's just like absolutely like he's like reveling in all of it. Like finally a fucking fight. And yeah, that's
I would
what
be so happy.
It's honestly, it's less of a fight for him, and like honestly, it looks like a kid playing with toys. Like it's
Oh man.
it's almost sweet, like in a way, but yeah. Okay, as you guys, so you'll send that in just a minute. But as you guys kind of walk up this section of the city that ramps up to this plateau, you can see that all of the buildings kind of along this plateau leading up to the camp, which you saw before had been heavily damaged by some kind of event, now are completely destroyed. They are leveled to the foundations. And it looks like whatever material like has been broken, as much of it as possible has been cleared away. You don't see it like in piles or anything anywhere. The buildings have been destroyed and then the material taken elsewhere. You also see just piles and piles of burnt corpses, skulls kind of bleaching in the sun. You see piles of bones, cracked with the marrow gone, and more of these piles and piles of dead. And we are talking hundreds and possibly thousands.
You see the druids and the shamans get fucking pissed. Like, what are you fucking doing? Why would you make a fucking it's not a decoration? Like this is, and like they're like lost for words on the wastefulness of these skulls, and like he starts smashing shit and he's mad. Like, and all of them are.
Yeah, you can see Tirug just starts like with his hands digging holes and just shoving some of these skulls into them and covering them over and digging other holes and doing whatever.
Can Sho see this and assist?
Sure, you can help him bury bones. Bruum, you see, the Dragonborn is just kind of watching all of this and like has a cloth over his nose.
I love
like,
this guy.
Huge hulking Dragonborn, like scars all the hell over him. Very fancy boots, and just kind of this. He's just looking around at it, like walking around the pyres, not looking at them. What are you guys doing while the?
So I have a question. I've been trying to get in for a sec here. Does this look like one of the camps that we were imprisoned in kind of got busted up, or does this look like the Freemans got attacked?
No, this is the route that you've traveled up to the Freeman camp before. These are just corpse pyres, just mass disposal of bodies.
But they're new from when we were here last.
Roll a survival check.
Okay.
I think what she's
I think it would just be. I guess it would be investigation. This would be more investigation.
It's like
you're trying to determine the age, essentially.
Well, what I'm actually looking for is to see if they're Freemans or not. That's really what I'm looking for. So
yeah,
that's an 11.
An 11. They are definitely not Freemans.
Okay, that's all I cared about.
It's not terribly hard to identify. These are clearly ghouls and ghoulkin.
Okay, that's all I cared about. I just didn't want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keeping in mind our conversation on Wednesday, Josh.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so can we tell that these are like not humans? I guess.
Yes, that is why Tirug is burying them.
Yeah. So you hear Guth specifically screaming about grass feeders and the unworthy to have been burned, and like they're furious at this. Just to emphasize, like they're furious at the wastefulness and the fact that these things got an honorable death, and they are smashing these things to pieces. You hear a lot of orcish chanting, like Guth's neck is glowing. If anyone notices, I mean anyone would. His neck is glowing, and he is screaming and smashing.
The other three are following suit. This is like, thank you so much, Nick. This is what I always wanted, right? A clash of cultural customs. this is great. They go nuts for a good 15 minutes before they kind of start to look around and realize just how goddamn many of these there are.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they kind of slow down, chests heaving.
Okay, I watch for a few minutes and then I start to write my message to the commandant.
I'll just spit and just say, I'll just spit and just be like, fucking wall huggers, and then just walk away and just Do not hit me right now. Do not. Do you hit me? Because I will hit you back. Guth hits her back. Like Guth is not. Yeah. Oh man.
I love this scene. Okay, so see in the foreground, right, closer to the camera is Talia, right? Scroll, paper, jotting down a note to the commandant. In the I don't know the official terms. In the middle ground, I guess.
Yeah, like mid-ground, sure.
Slightly blurred. The camera is focused on Talia, but slightly blurred. You watch as a small form swats a giant one, and a big one just grab, and there's a big tussle going on in the middle ground. And then in the background, more blurry, you can hear muted shouts and roars as several other large form are just romping about, like smashing bodies and pyres, just throwing them about. This is the picture in my head. I hope that you can see it like I do.
Perfect.
Life. Okay. Talia, what do you write to the commandant? I think after this, you have one more use, right? Total?
You told me I had one last time. I don't know.
Oh, is this the last one then?
But it didn't feel right because I feel like I should have had still one yet. So I feel like I should have a message and a response.
This is the last one of this candle. You have one more 3-use candle.
I think you're right, Nick.
You said each candle has 3
I started
uses.
with 3 candles, and each one has 3. Yeah.
Audience, if you wouldn't mind, like going back and just rewatching every episode where we've mentioned the candles and doing that count for
Thank you. Yeah.
We'll get a response to it. Back me up, man. Come on, please.
Figure it out. Okay. What are you writing in your message as you and screams and smashing behind you?
Okay, I will just write. We have arrived at near the gate. I'll estimate how far out we are because we've been in this area before. I know about where we are. So we've arrived here. We have extra people with us. Please don't shoot them.
Okay.
And I need Garrett. Please.
Okay. Long pause. Long enough for you to kind of turn and see what's happening as Vera smacks Guth. And Guth, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Yeah. Oh boy. So what's that? Just
What are you hitting her with? Just a fist?
Whatever I was smashing those things with. So probably my hammer. Yeah.
Give me an attack roll.
I'm gonna go reckless.
Cool.
That means you get advantage on him, Vera, if you hit him back.
Double 14s. Okay. Cool. For dirty 20s, those will hit. Give me a damage roll.
Okay. Yep. Back to.
A few things are gonna happen. So while he's rolling damage, Vera, he spins and that warhammer slams you in the shoulder. You are lifted off your feet and go spinning through the air backward. At the same time that you hear that, that you feel that, you hear Liliana yell, "Get the fuck off of Ma!" And she's gonna do a thing. Damage to Vera there.
That's 10 because it's 8 plus my rage.
You did not specify that you were raging.
I said I was furious and smashing skulls. Okay.
What was consider you in a perpetual state of rage at the moment? I'll give you that. 10 points of damage to Ma. The Freemans are going to be sitting at the gates for the next 3 hours like they should be here by now.
Like, tackle.
Liliana's going to chuck some Scorching Ray at you. With advantage. All of her attacks. So the first one. Probably enough. Plus 7. So 20, 21. Advantage on this attack. Oh, 10. Oh, gross. Third attack. Natural 20. So you take 12 plus
I knew
46. 12. You take 26 points of fire damage, halved to 13.
Okay, that's
Why were you
That-
at? Oh, because you took a kind of.
yeah, I'm close.
Yeah, you are.
Well, no. Did you have that? Did you have any of that?
Yeah, it was 26 halved to 13, so you should be at 40.
No. I had 15 damage, so I should be at 28.
Oh, I'm sorry, I saw you were at 27 and then you added it, but that was already added. Okay, yeah, so you're at 28. You're doing fine.
Okay.
And Vera, how are you responding to that? You picked.
I will. He's a lot bigger than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I'm going to cackle maniacally and attempt to essentially climb up him.
Cool.
And just kind of like, I'm not trying to hit him again. I'm just amused. So I'm just gonna kind of like perch on his shoulder and just sort of like cover his eyes.
Who gets brained by a hammer and says, "I'm kind of amused"?
You haven't met Vera Mayweather yet.
If
Young
anyone,
Vera.
it would be Ma. Ma, give me an acrobatics check with advantage.
Especially 17 years younger, Ma.
Yeah. Oh, and I get to add a +1 to this because I'm wearing my
You
belt.
already used it today.
Did I? No, I think I just get it. It's not part of the magical effect. It's not good though.
Oh, gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
you get halfway up him before he takes kind of the bone shield on his arm and just smacks you back to the dirt. If you'd like to attack, so that was your action attack. It's a sort of grapple. So if you wanted to use your bonus action to make an actual attack, I would allow it.
I'm not trying to attack him. I'm just sitting there giggling on the ground.
And
Cool.
do I see all of this? Would I turn around to see what's going on after I set my message?
Because no lives are actually at risk, and because I'm cherishing this vision of you in the foreground, kind of not seeing all of it, I'm going to say no.
Okay. I'm just waiting for my reply. Come on, text me that.
Joji, are you responding to any of this? So you saw this happen. Ma kind of swatted the back of his knee. He backhand clocked her with a war hammer. Fire slammed into his face and his chest from Liliana, who is spitting lightning at the moment. Oh, in fact, she could use her bonus action to do that.
No, because she's already used it today.
Oh, she did. You guys haven't actually rested since.
Nope.
And then
God,
Vera kind
don't
of
kill my character the next game.
and then Vera runs halfway up Guth, and then she gets smacked to the ground, and she's just in the dust. You don't know whether she's just enjoying her newfound youth. Something about this apoplectic reaction to a violation of custom. It just has her tickled. You're not sure what's going on, but Ma is lying in the dirt, happily giggling.
And I'm just gonna say to him, "You got it. Mean hit, son."
Good. How do you react? She's prone.
Man, I have two situations.
What would Goose do?
Have any of the other shamans reacted?
No, remember, they are in the background.
Understood. Okay. Sure. I'm going to cure wounds myself, first level. So that's
So
I don't
Beth
know
will
what Beth,
Beth
leave
will
your
take
camera.
if you're still there, could you turn on your camera again so it doesn't cycle our stream thing?
She may have lost internet because I see her mic is off too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
She still seems to be in Fantasy Grounds. Okay, so Guth, what was that roll for?
Cure wounds.
Oh, cure wounds. Okay, yeah.
So
you
I start stalking towards the dragonborn. I put that on my chest. I start saying something in Orcish that she probably doesn't understand. And then I'm going to turn into a bear.
Oh my god. Okay, so you heal. Is that 5 hit points?
6.
Oh, your
It's
wisdom is
one-
plus. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So plus. So you regain 6, which I see you did. Yeah. So you walk away from that. What do you say to him in Orc? Here's the great thing. In Fantasy Grounds, you can actually type it and tell it to type it in Orc, and only characters who know Orc will actually be able to understand your text.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wait, are you going towards Liliana or are you going towards your friend?
So he went over to the
Liliana.
dragon.
No, he went over to Liliana.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The one who hit me with fire.
That Dragonborn. Gotcha.
Yes.
Cool.
Beth's having internet issues. She's working on it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say, you do not deserve her skin. As I walk towards her, as I
Okay.
walk towards the Dragonborn, as there's a very important other Dragonborn, yeah.
I see the connection. Okay. I was like,
Gotcha.
you don't know about Liliana yet. I see the connection.
That's funny. Yeah, didn't even put that together. Yeah, no. So I just say that and I just walk towards her.
I'm gonna give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Nice.
Because Goose just hit on something that he was not aware of, but that's definitely a thing.
Well, I'm gonna use my strength.
It's not how
so
it
that,
is, ending,
so that's
but
I'll just do it's advantage plus that, so 6.
That's gonna be a lot.
21.
Cool. You walk towards her. You say that. You turn into a bear. You still have an action.
No, I use cure wounds.
Oh, I'm sorry. Action was the spell. Bonus action for transform. Cool. Liliana is going to kind of stumble back and fall down.
The bear's still walking on 2 feet. Like I'm walking towards her on 2 feet. I just like morph into a bear, and like I have I guess I didn't mention I have tattoos on my hands of claws, and they just kind of grow and like glow and then grow and overcome my fingers, and I just turn into a bear and I just walk towards her.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
I have advantage.
With advantage, even if you didn't already have that.
22.
Cool. You're going to take half of. There's no counter for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You take half of 27, so you take 13 points of fire damage. So
And then I take half again.
only take half again because you're raging. So you take 6 points of fire damage from that fireball.
The bear form takes 6 points of fire damage, not Gooth.
Oh my god! So you go ahead and just keep track of that on like pen and paper or something.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Holy crap! Okay,
She wants to look.
an explosion of fire in the air. It crests across your back, and you shrug it off, no problem. Still standing there on your hind legs. Oh my god! Cool. Well, that was her turn. Now she's gonna spit lightning at you. Make another dex save.
She can't. She used it today.
God damn it! That's why she couldn't use it last turn. You're right. Vera and Shoji's not here. Vera.
Shoji wants to loot things. She just texted me.
Of course she
Oh, I
does.
see that. Cool. Joji starts looting things. She's walking behind Tirug as he tears things apart, just kind of picking through the pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vera, what are you doing?
I'm gonna attempt a Three Stooges routine where I can hide behind creatures larger than myself. The question is, can I hide behind a creature and hide from that creature?
Yes.
No?
Yay, that's that.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Excellent.
I mean,
Okay.
he's not looking
What
for
happened? There was a
Ma,
bear.
to be honest. Like, Ma has evaporated from the entire atmosphere. There is him and this fucking dragonborn. That's all he sees.
So for the sake of precedent, there are very situational things that are allowing you to do this.
I love it. What should I roll?
Stealth?
Okay, can I also pull his tail? And then every time he turns around, I'm behind him again.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, Grace. Grace. I love you so much.
Vera has a very distinct impish side. I'm sure you guys have. It's a lot.
Cool.
Vera is not reading a situation very well.
Cool. Vera, you are successfully hiding from him. He's not really looking for you, but you continually yank on his tail.
See, what I'm also doing is, does that distract him from his current issue?
Unlikely, but I will leave that up to Nick.
No.
Yink.
Unlikely is just my guess.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shoji's looting. As soon as she's actually back, she seems to be flickering in and out. I'll have her check. Oz. Nope. Gooth. Apologies.
He's acting the same way, so it's not your fault. Yeah, I will continue to lumber over on two legs until I'm standing above her. And honestly, I will just flare my hands and just roar with everything like honestly in a way of you're not worth attacking, but just screaming at Liliana.
So give me a D100 roll.
Okay.
You right click on the dice and then you can hit the percentage sign.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then just give me an intimidation check again with advantage.
Mod 20.
Okay. She raises her her hands are kind of in a defensive posture, and you can see she's going for more magic, and you just
wild magic. Oh my god.
Spittle just goes, oh, wild magic. Oh shit. So
I thought the D100 was for.
No. So that was it was a 3. I think it was a 3 at the end of last time.
We're at 205.
She's cast 2 of the fire things and 2 fireballs.
Josh, I will say as the player, just roll on the wild magic. Like she's fucking terrified. We don't have to do the math anymore. Like she's fucking terrified of a bear standing over her. Like
I'll roll it and take the lower.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, the first one was a 2 and the DC was a 7. So yeah, we're gonna roll on the wild magic table.
Please, someone turn into a potted plant. Please.
Kill my character again, Josh. Do it again, Josh.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Goose turned into a potted plant? Please.
That would be so amazing.
Please let this happen. Do this for me. Now that exists somewhere in here where tables. There we go. Wild magic.
Oh God.
Come on, Potted plant. 19.
Potted plant.
This is both humiliating and unbelievably appropriate
Oh
for what
no.
is happening. And I feel like a callback to previous editions of the game. As your spellcaster panics and casts grease centered on herself. As just oil and grease just go out from her, and her hands, which are in. I'm so sorry that we're doing this to Mary when she's not here. Her hands which are in a defensive posture, just kind of fall back to the dirt, and her head just goes back, and she closes her eyes. She's not fighting back. She has submitted. Cool. You feel a sharp yank on your tail. So I'm sorry, real quick, I keep forgetting to actually describe this because other things keep happening. This bear lets out a roar. And you can see like dirt and dust and bones go like scooting across the dirt away from Liliana. Like there was a shockwave to this roar.
Oh boy. Now that
and
really gets Talia's attention.
And Liliana just kind of stops. For the sake of time, Guth, I don't want to step on your hairy bear claws. So if this is not acceptable, let me know. But for the sake of time, we'll say, Talia, you receive your return message. Gate notified.
If you want me to, Guth accepts her surrender. So say your thing and then I'll say mine.
Yeah. Gate notified. Stefan will verify identity. Approach. You get that back.
Okay.
And you stare at it, right? And you keep wondering why she seems to be refusing to respond to anything you say about Garrett.
Yeah.
And you turn and look.
No.
You kind of turn around and look at the party. And standing arrayed before you is Liliana just laying down in a puddle of grease and dirt and filth. Guth as a giant bear, and you can see almost the glow of the tattoo coming through the bear form even, heaving and looking around at everybody else. The other three, the two other orcs and the dragonborn are kind of, their chests are heaving. They're covered in soot and ghoul blood, except for Bruam, who isn't covered in any of this. And they're all just covered in filth, heaving, looking around, raging, but starting to calm down. Vera is hanging off of the bear's tail, like bouncing.
Can I actually see Vera?
You can. She's
okay.
I'm only hiding from him.
Okay.
She is dangling like between the bear's legs. I was trying to figure out a better way to say that and gave up. And who else is in this scene? Shoji, her hands are covered in soot and filth, like up to the forearm, as she is just kind of rooting through. It's just madness and chaos behind you that has now come, like, kind of calmed down a little bit. And as you stand there and take in the scene, we will go ahead and end there for this.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm so getting tired.
Thank you so much for joining us on Iconic Productions. It Gets Worse. Where today it got a little better.
A little. A little.
Say hello to Gooth.
Ew.
Hello.
We had love triangles. We had party infight. You know, the more I say this, like the worse it gets. So I'm just going to stop. Thank you so much for coming. We'll be back next week, and we look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Have a lovely week, and stay safe and healthy.
And
Thank
join
you.
Becca on Monday night at
And
6:30.
John Becca on Monday night. I remembered.
You did not.
Take care.